The following podcast contains strong language and alternative facts. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Heel Podcast. Over the airwaves and under the influence, we are Turning Heel.
Let's get ready to shindig! Hello and welcome to another episode of the Turning Heel podcast with me, The Grids. And with me, as always, is Chris motherfucking Hughes.
Hello!
He is in cyberspace today.
I'm in cyberspace. I'm among us, as you said earlier. Yes, I am the imposter, as the other person sitting across from me said, Robert!
Hello!
Activate Robo Senpai.
Bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep. All is happy in the world.
Pew,
Sorry, I
pew,
couldn't resist.
pew, pew, 5, pew, pew, 5, keeping it alive.
No, I don't think it'll be
Life,
called.
just like Jay White's New Japan career, he came back. I'm happy. He didn't enter the Rumble. Yay!
Didn't deserve
I
it.
think deep down we all knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
But there's always a possibility.
I
Was
suppose.
Was there?
Well, the amount of times that Kenny Omega was rumoured to enter the Rumble that never happened, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's...
But do you not remember AJ? Anything
I
was
think
possible
Bill-
after AJ.
True. But I think AJ was definitely happening. Like, from minute one, that was definitely happening. Mainly because he was not very good at keeping it to himself.
Oh, yeah. He's practically at the end of like every indie show. He's like, oh, you might see me next Sunday.
Aye. Then he got asked in an interview. I think it was Kerry McIntosh asked him if I was doing a show on the 24th of January, or whatever date the Rumble was. He's like, would you be available to attend it? And he's like, no, I have a booking that night. But yes. Anyway, by this talk, you can tell that we're going to be talking about the Rumble tonight.
The Royal Rumble.
It's time to rumble.
The
It's
cripple
time
crumble.
for the Royal Rumble. Bah, early 90s Vince McMahon impression.
You will see Bailey, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Billy Kay.
And then on the WWE
The
Network,
Barbarian.
Dean Okerlund. You'll see Bailey, Naomi.
Dino Bravo. Wait, he should be in that Rumble.
Max Moon.
Yes. I had an argument with Pause today over the 1992 Royal Rumble. Don't know if you've seen it on
Okay.
Facebook.
I did not do tell.
Someone posted the full match from YouTube and like Pause tagged me in it. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, second best Rumble ever. Last year's just beats it. And he's like, last year's did beat it. And I'm like, I fucking did. Then we had to be back before. Which neither of us won.
Okay, well, I'll just jump in and be like, not Chris wins.
Yeah, if just get him to listen to this and blah, I win. Although,
Then he'd be like, fuck that, I'm going to do your wrestling podcast. Yeah, look at me on pods.
so we're 2 days removed from the Royal Rumble, 3 days removed.
Yeah,
That's-
I forget what day it is.
I would
Well,
call it.
technically,
Technically.
it's true because we didn't see it until Monday.
Yeah.
Because the time difference.
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
so 2
uh-huh.
days removed.
There.
2 days removed from the Rumble. So,
Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
yep, we've all had time to digest the results and what happened.
I've had enough time to cry so that I don't cry on the podcast.
Overall, before we get into it in detail, what's your thoughts, Robert?
The Rumbles were good, and the last man standing match was good. Didn't see the first match because I was too busy playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Probably the better choice.
And then I hit the mute button at a very specific point in time during the broadcast.
Yes, we'll get to that.
Okay.
There is marked out for that moment. If it's the same moment I'm thinking.
Right, I clearly don't understand this reference, so I guess we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
If it is what I'm thinking. What about you guys? What was your thoughts on the pay-per-view? Was that Rumble entrant?
Did we lose Robert, or is he just really fucking with us? You asked him like 4 questions and he's not said anything.
Yep, just fucking with these. Is that
Rumble? Is that a Rumble entrant you're talking about?
No, it's not. It's not a Rumble entrant.
Okay.
Right, it's not what I'm thinking of then.
Right.
Okay, let us know what it was when we get to it then. Grizz, what was your thoughts on?
I'll tell you what, as soon as Grizz says it, you'll know it.
Okay. I thought the show was actually like really good overall. I was coming into it obviously with the little bit of what's the word? Just like how are they going to do this? How's this going to feel with no fans and yada yada? But you know what? Still came off great. Just as a show, and couldn't be happier for it. And glad that I stayed up late for it.
So you were hesitant getting in?
I was hesitant with it because it being in the Thunderdome, but it's the fucking Rumble, which is always my favorite pay-per-view every single year. So I knew I was probably going to enjoy it regardless, but I'm surprised at how much I enjoyed it, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
I thought it was the pay-per-view of the year, hands down.
Wow. And considering we've had already about 15 pay-per-views this year.
Well, we haven't though, have we? For TV specials, not pay-per-views.
There's been a lot. We've had Wrestle Kingdom,
2 nights.
Hard to Kill,
Genesis.
Right, okay, fair play. I was trying to make a joke there about it being the only pay-per-view, but fine.
And Wrestle Kingdom was 2 nights.
Exactly.
So really, that's what, 6? 5, 6?
Yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah, fair play. I'll accept that one. Thought I was being funny there, but clearly not.
Yeah, you're not. You just suck. But to be honest, like now saying that, like I feel like you're probably still valid with your point though. Yeah. Because I could definitely say that you probably enjoyed this more than you enjoyed like Hard to Kill or Genesis.
Definitely, yeah. Not that they were bad. I mean, they weren't great, but not that they were bad.
Look at me shitting on TNA again. I'm so cool.
I'm not fucking shitting on TNA. If I was shitting on TNA, I wouldn't be watching it.
I think at this point the hipster thinks to enjoy TNA.
I think it probably is. But my problem with TNA, I've said it before, I'll keep saying it, it's the fucking production, man. It's how badly fucking it runs when you get fucking segments cutting in backstage interviews where they're like, you actually see the producer going 3, 2, 1.
Okay, that happened once.
And then you've got it's stuff like that drives me fucking nuts. And then you've got fucking the commentators trying to get all these wee fucking catchphrases in. The sport of professional wrestling. Fuck off. Just fuck off.
I don't believe Matt
I could handle it once, but it must have been said about fucking 40 times in one pay-per-view that I'm like, okay, maybe they'll stop doing that now. But no, it then continued into Impact, and it drives me fucking insane.
I don't think I would put it on Striker. I think he's maybe been told to say it.
I don't know. I think he.
I don't care if he's saying it himself or if he's been told to say it. It fucking annoys me either way.
I think it's just to try and differentiate themselves from the other products.
In the words of Nahama piece of a poo Nahama piece of petalon. Ha! See, I forgot the line. Ha! Oh my god, what is it? Now you know how it feels. If I would have got that,
that was a pathetic challenge for the belt there.
exactly.
Or defense, I don't even know who has it anymore. But
it's probably still me. But if I'd got that out the first time, that would have been perfect. But the fact that not only did I flub his fucking name the first time, and then I flubbed the fucking line like 3 times, yeah, I wouldn't even count that even if yous were like courtesy laugh.
Yeah, you don't get courtesy laughs out of us.
That's debatable.
No.
Cam down Stone Cold. No.
Oh no.
Well, speaking of courtesy, like, why don't we have the courtesy of getting into the first match of the evening?
Let's do it.
I think I used that word right there. The first match of the evening was on the pre-show, where Asuka and Charlotte defended the Women's Tag Team Championship against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
Very surprised this was on the pre-show.
Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah, I was as well. I was expecting maybe Drew and somebody to be on the pre-show, and this to be the opening match in the card.
Yeah, me too.
I think I actually expected the pre-show to have Rumble implications. Like maybe they do like say like Drew Gulak versus I don't know someone else.
Ricochet.
And it'd be like the winner gets the last spot in the Rumble or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, because
not the number 30 spot, just the last spot.
They were running that storyline on Raw for the past like month or so, where AJ Styles would continuously wrestle people, and if they lost, they wouldn't make the Rumble. And Ricochet was one of those people, and he still made the Rumble because of some people that had to pull out. Yeah. So what they could have done is they could have done like Ricochet versus Drew Gulak versus whoever else AJ wrestled in those winning you're in matches, and then they could have been like, right, look, we're short one guy, and we know the 3 years really wanted to be in this, so you know what, one of you is going to get the opportunity, you just need to go out there and fight for it, and so you're going to have to wrestle twice in one night. But I'm sure any yous knowing that yous are, you know, in this great sport of professional wrestling, yous are really yous are some of the best, and yous all deserve to be in there, but only one can. So I'm sure yous will take this ball and run with it, and then Ricochet wins, he ends up in the Rumble, boom.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would have liked to see them do anyway, something along those lines. But yeah, because then again, when you look at the matches that were on the main card, it's kind of like, well, where does that fit in without cutting one of the Rumbles down?
Well, I've got an idea. There was this one thing that was on the Rumble that really didn't deserve to be there.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. And that's what you're talking about. You muted.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God! Have you heard the rumours they want to have him have a match at WrestleMania?
Yeah, because they're trying to imply that on Raw, which is going to be one of these things I may end up doing again as we go throughout the show. I'll cherry pick little bits of Raw that continue the storyline. So we'll get to that when we get to that, essentially. But it definitely is looking like he's going to be sticking around.
Which his fans are not going to like.
Well, I also have something else that I need to bring up regarding said Bugs Bunny later.
No, don't you tarnish the name of Bugs Bunny.
I beg your pardon. Drugs Bunny.
Okay, drugs. That works.
That works. That works very well. Right, okay, so what I have done is, obviously we were watching this live, so I didn't really take notes. So what I've done is I've went back and practically watched most of this pay-per-view again. So you're fucking welcome. And I've just taken the last sort of ended stretch of each match. So the ending part of this match came with Charlotte hitting a moonsault to the outside. This is when Ric Flair comes out onto the ramp. Charlotte back in the ring and locks the figure 8 on Shayna. And then Lacey Evans shows up and swipes the arms out from under Charlotte to break the hold, which causes Charlotte to turn around and clock Evans. Flair comes round to the aid of Evans and gives her something, which I think might be like his wristwatch. Maybe I couldn't really tell. Flair sets up for the figure eight again. Evans pops Charlotte in the face with the item, the implement, and Nia Jax does a horrendous looking leg drop, and we have new tag team champions of the women's division.
See how later on in the show where they showed you like the sort of highlights of the match, and it shows you like Ric Flair passing something to Lacey Evans.
Uh-huh.
It looks like he's passing something to her, but I never seen anything in her hand.
Interesting.
I thought it was a weight that he passed to her, so it was like in her fist, if you know what I mean.
In her glove.
Because I was looking for something like a knuckle duster, like you know, like when Ric Flair would do that shit, it would always be some sort of taped item that would fit. So you could basically make like a bit of plastic or something and cover it up so you've got that illusion. I didn't see anything in her hand or on her knuckles.
I didn't look like that's what he gave her. It looked like he gave her what it looked like to me was like a cylinder sort of thing that she had like clenched inside her fist. Do you know what I mean?
But how does that work?
The old roll of quarters.
Yeah, the old roll of quarters.
So just, I guess it's that kind of thing. You ball up your fist.
Is heavier when you come down to hit somebody.
Yeah.
There's more weight in your fist, therefore. That's what it looked like to me.
Right. Okay. That clears things up for me then.
I just kind of assumed a watch because
It doesn't really work in wrestling, to be fair. Especially when she's punching more or less up the way instead of down the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think the roll of quarters is meant to be if you're kind of pounding on someone, the weight makes your fist
wasn't
heavier.
Really up or down, it was more sort of side swipe.
Aye.
Yeah, because Lacey started to climb the ropes and then she was like, "Oh wait, hold on, I'm completely out of position." So she dropped back down off of the apron to get the shot.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. But I may be wrong, but that's what I took from it. It was kind of like, as Grizz says, the old roll of quarters sort of trick.
Because like she definitely put something like in her gear, I'm pretty sure afterwards.
Yeah, she did.
So there was something there. But I don't know. I think this may have been the best thing. Because as Chris has alluded to before, like having just random people be tag teams, well, more so the champion of the singles division also being a tag team champion doesn't really work. And I thought Asuka and Charlotte never worked as fucking partners to begin with anyway, so maybe now we can finally get back to Asuka actually defending this woman's title.
Yeah, and she's obviously going to be defending it against Charlotte at Mania.
Yeah, see, I don't know. This Lacey thing sounds like it could go a while.
I mean, as much as
I think the payoff to that's going to be either at Fastlane or the Elimination Chamber.
As much as I dislike Charlotte Flair, that is going to be a very low card match for someone like her to be in a fucking practically.
It's the Elimination Chambers before Fastlane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Elimination Chambers usually February, right? So what if Lacey wins? What if Lacey wins the Elimination Chamber by dodgy dealings to pin Charlotte to win it, and then they have a match for the number one contendership at Fastlane?
Hey, I mean, it's not the first time that Flair has helped people inside the Elimination Chamber win. SummerSlam 2003.
I slid in a sledgehammer.
Sure did. WWE pay-per-view schedule 2001. Yeah, you're right. Elimination Chambers on the 21st of Feb. Fastlane 21st of March. Lazy Smarch weather. And Mania 10th and 11th of April. So there you go.
So they could do that, or even they could even do a triple threat at Mania.
Maybe. I mean,
because Asuka's going to have beef with Lacey as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe it goes.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad call, to be honest, because Lacey definitely has gotten better as like a wrestler. So why not just do that? And it might be a bit of a nothing match, but it's still for the belt.
I'm quite interested in the story now because I seen a clip of Ric Flair on Raw Talk, and he really fucking sold me on it.
Okay, do tell.
He was saying, I'm the best wrestler in the world. I'm the reason wrestling's where it is today. But then you have people say, Charlotte's the best wrestler in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like,
which those people are wrong.
Hunter trained Charlotte. And Hunter learned almost everything from me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to teach Lacey.
Yeah. Ric Flair taught Triple H everything he knows, but not everything Ric Flair knows.
Yeah.
So now Ric Flair's trying to imply, well, I'm going to teach everything I know to Lacey.
Yeah, so I'm kind of sold on it now. Like, with Flair, you could tell, like, they could just say even the conviction that he spoke with.
Mm-hmm.
Even he had R-Truth in, what's her face?
Kayla?
Almost cheering for fucking Lacey.
Interesting.
I'll have to check that out. Although I do love R-Truth on Raw Talk.
It's only a 2-minute video.
How long is Raw Talk?
Like half an hour.
Like 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Maybe I should just start plopping that on sometimes, and talking smack when making dinner or something.
Yeah, honestly, watch the one that AJ Styles was on, the Raw Talk, and R-Truth going on about fucking the house that AJ built and asking him if he does bungalows and tiny houses and all that. And AJ's like that, no, it's a metaphor. And he's like, well, I feel that's false advertising.
So, I've seen another wee clip from Raw Talk this week, and it was Kayla had the New Day on, and she said she was talking about the Zelda game, the Legend of Ocarina.
Yes, my favourite.
You just seen Xavier just go like that. Oh!
Don't talk about stuff you don't know about. There was actually a really good segment on Talking Smack recently as well with AJ. Again, Paul Heyman does the second, not announcer, presenter of that.
Yeah.
And
Host.
They're asking AJ about why he wants to win the Royal Rumble.
Flat Earth.
And he says, he's like, I want to win.
Community.
He's like, I want to win the Royal Rumble so I can challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and then I can beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and that means I become Universal Champion. But that's not what it's really about. When I become Universal Champion, Roman Reigns has no more need for you, and this is about putting you out of a job. Nothing would make me happier than putting you out of a job.
That's awesome.
So
yeah,
he's still
really good
salty about Heyman when he was in charge of Raw.
Yep. And then the OC getting shit canned. I like that.
Definitely worth watching if you've got a couple of minutes just to have a watch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sounds it like there's a lot of little bits and pieces that, because I thought it was just going to be a bit of nothing, to be honest, but there always seems to be stuff coming out of it. So, that Apollo Crews thing a couple of weeks ago, and now you see Apollo Crews hanging about with Roman Reigns backstage sometimes, and he's starting to get a bit more sort of heelish with his sort of antics in the ring. So there's definitely stuff coming from it.
He fucking needs to though, because he's bland as fuck.
I know. There's only so far your in-ring capabilities can take you.
Yeah, and the gimmick of smiling black man. Nah.
I know. Like he's just lucky he's not dancing yet.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he's not dancing.
Because there's another podcast I listen to, and the one host who is black, like brings up quite a lot. And I feel like he's kind of like one of the only people that's allowed to say this without it sounding weird. So that's why I felt the need to emphasize. He always says, I just think that Vince McMahon finds like black people dancing just like one of the funniest things ever. And it's kind of true in a way when you think about it, because you go back and you think of like a lot of like black wrestlers at some point in their career, they definitely done the dancing gimmick.
Dancing or rapping?
Dancing or rapping, yeah. Or sometimes a combination of both.
Yeah, I totally agree. He probably does, but Vince is a very out of touch dinosaur. Who,
Yeah.
by the way, who I was reading today has not been at any shows in a few weeks. Has had nothing to do with him. And I don't know about you guys, but I've thought SmackDown, well, TV in general has been a lot better the last few weeks.
Yeah, probably because they've had a script implemented for more than like 3 hours before the show.
Yeah, because apparently he's dealing with family stuff because his brother died, so he's not been at any TV at all since like the middle of January.
Wow.
Or just before the middle of January, and I've thought it's been better. Like,
Yeah. It may not exactly still be top notch yet, but there's clearly like a change in terms of the way that some of this stuff is going on. I mean, look at recently we just had Alexa blowing up a fireball in Orton's face, and then Orton hitting an RKO on Alexa,
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff that like totally does not happen normally.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
If
so we
it
had-
if it happened normally, then you wouldn't have that shock factor.
No, that's not exactly what I mean, but like I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But like just the stuff that was like, because they were kind of saying they being, I believe, the USA Network, when they had that really low rating, they were like, right, you're going to need to start doing some more kind of adult stuff because all this kind of childish bullshit just isn't working anymore. And I feel like that's why that Inferno match came about at TLC, because that was just going to be a normal match going into the pay-per-view, and then like 2 days before it's like, oh, it's an Inferno match now. So I feel like that's kind of where it's came from a little.
Yeah. Well. Right, should we get to the main card?
Yes. But speaking of adults, 2 adults went at it for the WWE title. One of them very much more adult than the other, as Goldberg challenged Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship.
This match, right, genuinely was going to set my expectation for the rest of the show. See, if I didn't get the outcome I wanted in this match, the rest of the Rumble would have been horseshit to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's how fucking important it was that Goldberg did fucking win a title again. And it didn't happen. Thank fuck for that.
Yeah.
I'm also glad it was on early and out the way, so I didn't have to be apprehensive about it for like
Yeah. We would have been
most
sitting
of
there
the
like,
show.
we would have been sitting like, yeah, but Goldberg still has to come.
I'm glad Drew won. It was exactly the type of match you would expect. It was just fucking finisher, win.
Yeah. When you used to play
With the little difference of the match starting before the bell, which there was no reason for that bell not to ring.
Exactly, that's what I said at the time, was
Yeah.
the time we're facing off, Drew hits a headbutt and then a spear, and then they start fighting on the outside, and they kept going, this match hasn't started yet. And it's like, well, why hasn't it started yet? Then Goldberg goes for a spear, spears Drew through the barricade. There's a couple of spears and a horrendous looking jackhammer from Goldberg, which Drew kicks out of. Spear misses and Goldberg goes into the corner. Then takes what seems like an absolute eternity to turn around. So it's just like about 30 seconds of Drew making that weird turn around face. And then the camera cuts back and Goldberg still hasn't turned around. It's like, fucking turn around. Bang, Claymore, it's over. Holy balls. Panic over.
There is a fucking wrestling god out there. And he was smiling down on us on Sunday.
JBL was on the pre-show panel.
Yeah, he was. Maybe he really is a wrestling god. I'm sure he predicted Drew to win it as well.
Yeah, I don't know. The shape that he's in now, I think he's maybe a wrestling Buddha.
But is a god.
Yeah, but it's technically a god.
Yeah.
I know the one in my mantelpiece.
You should... God damn it. You should just stick a little JBL face over it.
The cowboy hat.
Yeah. Then at the end, blah blah blah, Goldberg respect, yada yada, don't care. Fuck off.
Yeah. Don't let door hit you in the way out.
I know. Don't go
And
back.
hopefully he's not back for WrestleMania. He's obviously going to have at least one more match this year, but hopefully they'll leave it to like SummerSlam or Survivor Series.
I don't know if he's only going to have
So,
one more match. Fucking have it at Mania so we can get you out the way for the rest of the year.
Have it next week on Raw, then we don't need it anymore.
But it's the idea of a WrestleMania with like hundreds of part-timers kind of excites me.
Yeah.
Because there won't be any. I can't imagine there's going to be any Brock. Cena said he won't be there, but that could be Cena just fucking kayfabing.
What's your favourite match, Cena? My favourite match is my next match. That's not what I asked you.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar, allegedly no Cena, definitely no Taker. Well, I really hope there's no Taker, otherwise that was a complete waste of time at fucking Survivor Series.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking forward to it. The closest thing to a part-time star that's going to be there is Edge so far. And even he said he's going to be on TV every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
He actually had a match on Raw, and don't know if
He's
you've
having a
seen
match tonight.
He's having a match tonight in NXT. That's going to be weird.
Robert, you looked like you were trying to get my attention.
Yeah, I was going to say he's going full time
Yeah, he's...
now.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be
Just
full-time
part-time.
forever, but he'll maybe be full-time up to WrestleMania, and then... Well, if he wins the title, he'll be full-time
wins the
after
belt.
that as well. Yeah. If he wins the belt.
No, when he wins the belt. He better win the belt.
If he wins the Rumble,
Yeah, a good point, actually. Spoilers.
That's good. If anybody
Damn it,
decided,
Chris.
if anybody decided to listen to this show without watching the Royal Rumble yet, then you've got something wrong with you. Hey, Bell Bell.
Ah,
Oh! Oh!
hanging.
It's a retail.
Aye, there's been in a fucking letter tray.
No, it's not. It's fine.
He was aye. Fucking hell, man.
Fuck.
you cheesing, bro?
Ah.
Bell walked past the
Yes.
Bell walked past the camera and I bit the end of her tail.
That's no.
Oh no.
So what's the difference between that and me like stroking her?
I assume
She
like
doesn't
a
roll
normal
about
person
the
washing
letter
hands
tray.
on a regular basis.
Yeah, but what if I'm like having my dinner and I'm like, right, it's okay, Bell, and then I go back to eat my dinner.
And also, fucking, our back isn't in the litter tray, is it? When she sits down to have a shite, the fucking
She doesn't
tail's in the
roll
litter
up
tray.
in it like some wee sort of scat cat.
She points her tail up.
Oh, she
Yeah.
a lady. I drink my tea with my pinky up. Belle poops with her tail up.
Yep. So we move on to, speaking of ladies, Sasha Banks defended the SmackDown Women's Championship against Carmella.
I have fallen in love with Carmella recently.
Uh-huh.
I always liked her before, but I've proper fallen in love with her recently.
Uh-huh.
I think me and her could have some fantastic evenings, just drinking some really nice wine and champagne and discussing the inner workings of the brewing process and, you know, then our own inner workings later on. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, just remember to swallow your wine
Disgusting.
instead of spitting it back out.
But yeah, I think this is probably the end of that rivalry.
Yeah, I think so at this point. So there was a one point where Reggie and Sasha were on the outside. Mella used Reggie as a sort of springboard to hit a clothesline onto the announce table. Then later on, there was a part in the match where Sasha was knocked outside onto Reggie, and Reggie catches Sasha, like the gentleman that he is, and then Sasha hits him with a Hurricanrana, which then gets Reggie thrown out, and it's like, Sasha attacked him. So the second half of this match was Carmella having an absolute breakdown at the fact that Reggie got thrown out.
I feel it'd have been funnier though if after he caught Sasha, they'd done that classic comedy thing where it's like, ah! And like just drops her, and then gets flung out for dropping her.
Like it was just kind of like looking around, like, oh god, I'm the best, Sarah. Ah! Thinking that he caught Carmella or something.
Something like that would be quite funny. Anyway, that's just a wee side thought.
Yep. Then as Reggie leaves, Carmella does a dive to the outside and scrapes her teeth along the floor. Yeah. The way that she just kind of went on the floor looked nasty as fuck. But then she got right back up. So
yeah, did you notice Sasha checking on her?
Yeah, I think I did a little. Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed at the time, but for some reason I never said, "Did you see Sasha checking on her?" But I didn't notice at the time. But then I seen it back again, and she does. Like when we get to the last man standing match.
Yeah.
I saw a pretty.
I was watching it for that actually. When you brought that up, I was watching it back, looking for that, and I did.
Aye.
Anyway. So Mela gets the code of silence later on in the match, but Sasha pulls Mela's arm out from under her, which breaks the hold, and then the match ends with Sasha getting the bank statement for the victory.
Yes.
Personally, I just wanted this match to end because I just wanted to see Rumbles.
I was a bit like that. See, once the fact that Drew and Goldberg was out the way, I was just kind of like Rumble matches. And to be fair, the last man standing as well, I really wanted to see.
Yeah, and to be honest, they knocked that out of the park. But we'll get to that. Speaking of things I wanted out of the park and out of the arena and out of my life forever, Bad Bunny performs a horrendous song.
I completely forgot about Bad Bunny earlier on when we were talking about the thing that you muted. And see, now I've remembered about it, my life is just taking a downward spiral.
Right. WWE's taking a fucking downward spiral. We used to have such class acts on fucking shows like Motley Crue in Florida.
And Saliva.
The Pitbull.
Motorhead.
I liked the Pitbull.
Biscuit.
The Pitbull.
Big fan of the Pitbull.
Jamie Noble and Kid Cash's tag team, yeah.
Even at Shotgun Charlie on there at one point as well.
I actually quite like a Florida song.
Florida's banging. I love Florida.
Is it Welcome to Madness because there was a WrestleMania theme in the WrestleMania you went?
Yeah.
What a shot.
No, actually, to be fair, even if I hadn't went to that WrestleMania, I'd still like it. I like all the WrestleMania themes. They just pure stick in your head.
One of my favourite Florida songs is the one that Grizz hates. There was one for a SummerSlam a couple of years ago.
By the way, just for context, I hate every Florida song, so...
Oh, but this one you really fucking hated.
You're going to need to be more specific about this.
It's going down for real.
I'm just going to take these headphones out.
But at least that performance there was better than Mr. Bunny's.
Right, okay.
That was arguably the worst performance ever. And I'm putting that up there with Sasha Banks' entrance at WrestleMania 32 with that fucking chick singing the chorus. Oh, Skylar something.
Skylar Grey.
Aye. Oh, she was fucking awful.
She's better at writing other people's songs than
performing. Even
do you know what? Fair play to her. See if she is good at writing songs for other people. Do it. That's where the money is. Mm-hmm. Songwriters make much more money than artists do, like actual performers. So fuck it. See if she's good at it. More power to her. But fucking stay off the stage, hen man. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like the story with like Oasis when they first got together. And
please try to get the story for as long as possible.
Knowles Noel said to Liam, like when they first started like jamming and stuff, and he's like, "Look, you go out and be a rock and roll star, and I'll write all the songs." And that's why Noel's like a billionaire and Liam isn't. Just fucking like.
Right, brother. I didn't understand this. Even Muted, I was like, why is Booker T out there? The song's called Booker T. Great. Why is he dressed like G.I. Bro?
Oh,
Why is he just standing there with his arms crossed? He's just standing there. It looks like a fucking pillock.
do you know? It's going to be a tag match at Mania, isn't it? It's going to be Booker T and fucking Bad Bunny versus Miz and Morrison. I can see it coming, man.
Or the way that it's looked, from what I've seen from
Damien
Raw,
Priest.
Damien Priest and Bad Bunny.
Don't think that will happen.
Please keep Damien Priest away from this guy.
Yep. Wait to ruin a guy's fucking career before it gets started is associating him with Bad Bunny.
Because a lot of people were bad mouthing Mr. Bunny on the Twitter box.
Oh.
And they're like, I've never heard of this guy, and his fans came out in drones. None of them wrestling fans. Oh, he's the biggest selling artist just now in blah blah de blue. This guy's a big deal. So I've never heard him in my radio.
Exactly.
To be fair, I listen to Smooth FM, but that's
I'm very out of touch. I'm very out of touch with modern music, but at least I know who the big players are, and he's certainly not one.
No, the fact that they said Latin Grammy winner, not Grammy winner.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so there's two points.
Basically, it sounds sorry, guys. Sorry to interrupt you. Really sorry. Right, that's the last thing I'm going to say about it. Okay. Basically, all that's happened is he's went, "Oh, I need to get to a more mainstream audience. How can I do that? Oh, let's fucking write a song about a WWE wrestler and get on a fucking WWE show."
Yeah. Remember there was a local Scottish band that wrote a song about Ric Flair? Where was their fucking performance in a pay-per-view?
Aye, that Tom something in the Brass Holes.
Yeah.
Because I've got it on my Spotify.
Yeah. And have you ever seen the video for it? The video for it was great.
Yeah.
Just the band wandering about Glasgow in robes.
Yeah.
My pal was Ultimate Warrior in the video.
Oh, really?
Nice. Yeah. There's loads of bands that do songs about wrestlers. Like Colt Cabana used to do fucking Song of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true, actually, yeah.
Where the fuck was Bowling? You could have Bowling for Soup on.
They were meant to be at WrestleMania, apparently. Before that, all got shit canned.
Yeah.
And then obviously it doesn't really work now with the with the gimmick. But
it can. See how when she's playful playground Alexa Bliss?
Yeah.
That can work.
Probably.
And then you get Code Orange in to do
Alistair Blue.
The bad version, because they do the Fiend song.
Yeah, that would be cool actually. Right, so two quick points that I want to make on this is right. Number one, I have to work in an office for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes more than that, depending if I want to work early, a day. And so, yeah, I sometimes have to subject myself to listen to absolutely horrendous pop culture music, because Jesus Christ, is pop music bad these days. But again, never heard of Bad Bunny in my fucking life. And two, and this is going to lead me on to a tweet that I read, which I'll read in a second. Me also being someone that doesn't listen to one, Latin music, and two, rap music, other than Insane Clown Posse. How would I be expected to know who the fuck this guy is? So now, I will direct you to Twitter, and I still love you, but this really made you go a bit downwards in my book. So,
sorry, man.
Not you. Shut up.
Oh,
okay. Don't forget to collect your internet cool points for having never heard of an artist with literally millions and millions of fans all over the world. Look at you, Veda Scott. So, when I read that, I really just wanted to kind of say back to her, like, oh, okay, so just because he has millions of fans all over the world, I'm supposed to know who he is. So that'd be a bit like if you asked any, casual or just WWE fan, hey, have you ever heard of wrestler Vader Scott? And they go, no. And then you're like, oh, congratulations, you don't know who this guy is, this girl is. Oh, there's your kill points. Shut the fuck up, Vader Scott. You don't know nothing.
I thought you got internet kill points by knowing someone that wasn't famous.
I know.
I know.
What a stupid tweet, honestly.
That's like me going, oh, I was listening to Lady Gaga when she was on The Hills, and she was on The Hills 2 years before she released her first album.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I did, but whatever.
Or if you listen to just about every single person in Scotland that will tell you they were at Biffy Clyro's first gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I gave Lewis Capaldi 20 pence when he was busking in Circuit Hall Street.
Yeah.
Aye.
Or like, oh, we all heard Outerbridge before they became famous because they done a small song for WWE when they weren't even that popular.
I think ours were a bit more realistic than that one, but
I know.
But anyway,
We were keeping ours to Scotland.
the only thing that was good out of this whole performance, right? And we're going to harken back to the pre-show here, was our boy R-Truth's Elmer Fudd.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I take it you've not watched the pre-show, Robert, have you?
I take it he saw a bunny wabbit.
No, he came out dressed like Elmer Fudd. They're like, "What you doing?" And he's like, I'm looking for that rabbit, that Bugs Bunny. I'm hunting wabbits." And Booker T's like, "That's the wrong rabbit." And he's like, "Oh." It was fantastic, man.
It's just
You
insane.
pure tell, see by the panel's reaction, you pure tell they didn't know what was happening. Like, King was more or less falling off his seat in laughter, man. It was fucking...
Yes, it's one of those things where I think they're getting told, right, R-Truth is going to come up and talk, just humour him and see where it goes, and then that's probably going to be about all that they're told through this whole thing. But yeah, no, stupid tweet, Vader. I thought you were better than that. Like, just don't assume that everybody knows who everybody is. Like, I don't understand it.
I think the point she's trying to make is that people were writing him off straight away because they hadn't heard of him, as opposed to giving him a chance, right? Which, to be fair, I was like, who? And I was like, I've never heard of that guy, but I wasn't that bothered about him being on the show until he actually started performing, and I'm like, oh my god, you are awful.
Yes.
I was the same.
I think that's more the point she's trying to make. Do you know what I mean?
Well, see, this is the kind of thing of like we kind of alluded at this earlier, was the fact that like these days WWE has went in a completely different direction with music, and most of it's fucking horrendous. So yeah, like God forbid if I get told, oh, this guy's gonna perform and he's a Latin rapper artist, and it's like, okay, well that doesn't sound like something I'm going to enjoy. So
I mean, I didn't know who Poppy was before NXT,
yeah, me neither.
and I fucking love Poppy. Get Poppy.
Yeah, bring back Poppy.
So it's,
Yeah. I think
I think
NXT and
in the
I think
case of us,
NXT and main
it's not
roster.
It's not a case of us writing off someone that we don't know. It's we're writing him off because he's pish.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus, you
Completely
just
agree.
rifled through a whole bunch of songs that they used for pay-per-views recently. That's like, I mean, this is just my opinion. I'm allowed my own goddamn opinion. Like, if you like this stuff, all the more power to you. Whatever. But don't like Flo Rida. Don't like fucking Pitbull. Don't like The Weeknd. That's because that's not my kind of music.
Yeah.
But again, it was that kind of thing. Like when it's like, oh, The Weeknd is doing this song. It's like, I have no idea who that is.
I like
And-
The Weeknd.
And then that WrestleMania song that they had at Mania last year has been on the radio constantly now. So now I know who The Weeknd is. So it's just one of those things where it's like, don't try and make me feel shit because I don't know who somebody is, just because they're allegedly famous. And it's like, well, if that's not my kind of music, how the fuck am I meant to know who that is?
Aye. Right. Let's get off the negative and go on to the positive.
Yeah, because it's pretty much all up from here.
Oh, everything's coming up Millhouse now.
Well, okay, I say up from here, except for one part, which we'll get to. So our first Royal Rumble match of the evening is the Women's Royal Rumble with entrant number 1, Bayley, who comes out and she runs over to the announce table, and it's like, I've got Cole shaved out the back of my head, and he's not even here. That's it. If I'm winning, I'm challenging Michael Cole at WrestleMania.
At least they won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. And entry number 2 was the return of Naomi.
I
She's
didn't
back.
even realise she was away.
I know, she just kind of disappeared one day.
Probably when Jimmy got injured.
Which makes me wonder if he's going to be back soon.
He should be back. Saying that though, they probably just needed the numbers and they needed her to put in a shaft.
Well, she was on Raw.
Somebody could go in and put in a shift. Yeah, she was on Raw actually. Good point.
Yeah.
Tagging with Lana, which I believe they're number 1 contenders.
They won. Yeah, they won that match.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Dancing Divas. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to call them that
Listen,
anymore.
I've always had a soft spot for Lana, and I really love the fact they're trying to like push her as a face now. I'm like,
Yeah.
Lana's awesome. Like,
She's
No,
not
she
anywhere
was-
near as bad as she used to be for a start.
granted, well, even when she wasn't a great wrestler, I still enjoyed her. Like,
My
yeah.
problem with Lana is from watching Total Divas.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fair.
I never watched Total Divas. Well,
She's just an
watched it when
absolute
it first came out, but
cunt on it. All
it's
she does
reality,
is piss
but-
and moan.
it's reality TV. Fucking people are told
I know,
to
but
act differently than
like-
they normally would.
We already have Natty for the pissing and moaning.
See, I could believe that's just Natalie.
Oh.
That's just Natty.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's
Exactly.
Natty's the worst. There was an episode where they were showing you a match from like main event, and it was Naomi versus Natalia, and she done the rear view, but she slipped on the fall and landed on her stomach and landed arse first on her stomach.
Mhm.
Then they went backstage and Natalia took the huff. She's like, I fucking peed myself now, thanks.
Okay, we'll just go clean up.
And then I think she told. Who was it she told? I think she told Paige, and then Paige told Foxy, and Foxy told the locker room,
Fuck's sake.
and she was embarrassed.
Well, don't bring it up then.
Right, don't fucking say nothing, just go get cleaned.
I know, Jesus, like, I don't go about telling people when I've pissed myself or nearly pissed myself or whatever. Like, Jesus, sometimes, see if something like that happens, and I mean, sometimes we've all had too much to drink and don't wake up in time to go to the toilet. But
Fucking fake it till you make it.
exactly, see if nobody knows, then nobody knows. Nobody needs to know. Sometimes stuff like that is just stuff you keep to yourself.
Aye. Only one person can keep a secret.
Did CM Punk got shite himself during the match that he's quite open about?
Yeah.
Yeah, was that not the... Oh,
John Cena shot himself as well, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that
But actually, it might actually be John Cena I'm thinking of.
maybe it was in a match with CM Punk. Because it was on a house show, he says, and it's like Cena wasn't feeling well, and he just took like a body slam wrong, and he's like, uh-oh. So he rolled under the ring, shit under the ring, and then rolled back out.
I think you're right, Chris. I think it was CM Punk.
I'm really hoping no one checks my fucking Google search history right now.
John Cena
That's
scats.
why you go... That's why you
CM
go
Punk.
incognito.
CM Punk poop.
It could have been worse. You could have just like CM Punk shits himself video.
You've typed in CM Punk poop into your Google. It's probably going to come up WWE Ice Cream Bars.
Oh no,
I
it was
thought- I thought
it was
just
against
gonna
it was on SmackDown against Dean Ambrose.
I thought he was just going to link to his Twitter.
No, it's was against Dean Ambrose on SmackDown, and the very first comment on it is, "Thank you, I've been looking for this shit."
Speaking of CM Punk, though, there was pictures of him in ring with Stephen Amell.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
seen that. Yep, seen that.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit before the show.
What is that all about?
It's probably just another one of these things that CM Punk's like, "Ooh, look at me, I'm in a wrestling ring," and it doesn't do anything about it.
He's just a big troll.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite enjoying some of these comments on that video. The next one, "What a gutsy showing by CM Punk." Not watched the video, but
Man, sometimes CM Punk really rips the shit out of this. Anyway, we are off on a very shitty tangent. So why don't we get back to this?
yeah. Look at CM Punk shaking himself.
Entry number 3 was Bianca Belair, who obviously done pretty damn well in the match, so we'll hold off on thoughts on her. Billy Bloody Kay was out next at number 4.
Billy Bloody Kay!
This was one of the best bits of the Rumble for me.
Yeah, like the best. So she comes out, and then she goes on to the commentary, and it's like, "Well, I've decided that I'm going to enter the Rumble with a partner, so I've got my headshot on the back resume, and then maybe I can find someone and we can enter the Royal Rumble together." So the next couple of entrants, she keeps going up to the ramp and tries to interact with the entrants. So entry number 5 was Shotzi Blackheart, who comes out in her tank, and Billy Kay runs right in front of the tank. It's like, "Stop! Do you want to be partners?" And Shotzi shoots her with the tank projectile.
I was watching this bit. Ben was awake, and I think he liked Shotzi Blackheart because of the tank.
Oh, so what did you tell him?
I said, "That's Grizzy's favourite just now,"
Mm-hmm.
and he just went,
Yeah.
That's so weird. Like, who comes out in a tank? It's fucking great.
The fact the tank actually fires a projectile as well now, it's just awesome.
Yeah, I like the projectile.
And
She get back to commentary. She's like, she fired a warning shot.
Yeah, because it didn't exactly connect with her.
No, it went right over her head.
Next up was Shayna Baszler. So Billy,
much like the analogy that she was trying to make, or Shotzi's opinion of being a team over her head. Anyway,
just like that joke.
Yep.
Way!
I'm
Warning
not on
shots
form
fired.
today. I'm not on form today.
Farm
Fucking.
or farm.
I'm on about my 8th pint, right? Leave me alone.
Get yourself a shake, man.
That's probably your problem.
It's my
So
day
Shayna-
off, loud.
Fair. Shayna Baszler out next. She kind of throws Billy Kay to the side. Entry number 7 was Toni Storm, and she actually stopped and listened to Billy Kay to the point where Billy Kay's like, she says her spiel, and then she holds her hand with this big dumb look at her face, like, "Ah!"
I
then
thought at this point she'd found a partner, because I was like, oh, this might work, because they're both Australian.
Good call.
But
Yeah,
no.
they probably kind of grew up together a little. Maybe not. I don't know. But then Tori walks away, and then you just see in the background, Billy Kay just still stands there with her hand out in her stupid face, just like, and then Tori's in the ring. She's just like, "Guess that didn't work." Then entry number 8. We all gonna do it. We're all gonna sing it. Right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I know you want me. You can't take your eyes away from me. I'm the hottest thing since sliced bread. Forgot fucking dance move there. Gillian Hall returns.
And she looked good. I mean, I don't mean look good in terms of, oh, she's hot as fuck. I mean, she just looked in shape and could probably do a proper comeback if it was on the cards.
I mean,
She
she
did.
wrestled back in the day. What makes you think she's going to be able to do it now?
Maybe she's been practicing.
See, I think now, right? I actually think there's probably space for her just now doing the kind of comedy thing, because like the comedy thing now, it's a lot better than what it used to be. Like, see, when she was about, the comedy stuff was really meh. It was really Vince comedy. You could tell it was really Vince comedy.
To be honest,
But
Gillian
now a lot
Hall
of
was
the-
probably one of the only legitimately funny women's wrestlers back in the day because of this
Yeah.
gimmick.
I think her and Billy Kay, obviously that's how it transpired.
Yeah.
But I think that'd have been great if they ran with it afterwards.
Gillian Billy. I love it! Yay! So Billy Kay finally enters the Royal Rumble, and Jilly and Billy start working together. Entry number 9 was Ruby Riott, which put Billy Kay in a bit of a vice because she's been kind of trying to be pally with the Riott Squad recently. Entry number 10 was our next surprise entrant, as Victoria made a return.
Yay!
All the things she said, running through my head.
Unfortunately, the
Was
fake
that-
fake Russian lesbian music wasn't what was played, but I fucking loved that tune, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was like one of those things where like I loved that song so much I didn't even care about seeming like a bit of a weirdo, being like, oh man, like into the car and like, okay, here's Motorhead, here's Rammstein, oh here's Tattoo. Aye. Yeah,
Tattoo, man, fucking hell.
those were the days.
In general, wasn't a great band, but I loved that song. I don't know if it was just the video, but I loved the song.
I loved the song and then seen the video and I was like, huh.
Yeah,
Just
I
like-
was the same, because I'm pretty sure I first heard the song on WWE.
Yeah, exactly. And then they entered Eurovision and didn't win.
I was such a fan of that song back in the day that I even made Tattoo and SmackDown Shut Your Mouth.
Nice.
Nice. I think Roberts just trumped us.
A little bit, yeah. The closest to
I bought the single.
fair enough. That was during my very much knowing how to use music sharing.
Actually, do you want to feel really old? I bought the single out of Woolworths.
Ooh, not even
The
a
old
fucking
balls.
place exists. Don't even exist no more.
Yep, which is the Poundland next to my flat. That used to be Woolworths.
That's so funny you say that because my old Woolies is a Poundland now.
I think they must have bought a big chunk of the premises because I think a lot of Woolworths are. I'm sure
Yeah.
the one on Sucky Hall Street was a Woolworths as well.
The Woolworths that's at the Four Corners in town was also used to the Poundland that used to be. I'll start that sentence again. The Poundland that's on Four Corners now in town used to be a Woolworths. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I
That's
said Four Corners rather than Argyle Street, rather than Argyle Street, because that's the complete opposite end of town. That's what I meant. I meant Argyle Street. But yeah.
That's really weird.
I know. The things you learn on this podcast, eh?
Yeah, Jesus.
You
There may not be.
you just know there's an American somewhere going, what's a Woolworth?
What's a Poundland? Is that like a gym?
The big W as well. Big Woolworths.
The big dub. Entry number 11 was Peyton Royce, which caused, again, more of a stir with Billy Kay because at one point they started to do the iconic, and then Billy kind of stopped, and then Peyton's like, what are you doing? Iconic. And then, but Ruby, I think it was standing there, and Billy was like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. So, what are you talking about? And then then there was this weird sort of bit where Belly just started turning on everybody she tried to befriend. Because I think she started saving Jillian Hall, started saving the Riot Squad, and then started trying to eliminate them, which she eventually did. Because I believe Billie Kay actually eliminated Jillian Hall during the match.
She did, yes, and then was eliminated pretty much straight away by Ruby
I think
Riot.
it was the Riot. Yeah, I think it was the Riot Squad that eliminated her.
Mm-hmm. But there was a wee bit in the match where MD that went after Billy, Peyton went right after them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's quite sneaky. If you're watching it, it's like, oh, that makes sense. They're best pals, but you wouldn't have really caught it if you weren't
Aye. Yeah, I noticed that as well, and it is quite clever because they never broke up because they fell out. They broke up because they were made to break up.
Yeah, because they were told to.
Yeah.
Because of the Riot Squads.
Exactly.
Yeah, good point, actually, aye.
Yeah, so I suppose you're right. It was always that kind of thing where you would watch Peyton Royce in the background, and I think literally at the point where the Riot Squad eliminated Billie Kay, you could see Peyton in the background, be like, "Oh no!" Aye.
Peyton wasn't happy, and then when they eliminated her, Peyton went for the Riot Squad.
Yeah.
But is it a case of?
In fact,
it's because it was a best pal, or is it because it was an easy ally? In terms of
both,
a bit of help for her. Do you know what I mean?
Because
Peyton's been a bitch since the breakup.
She looked gutted that Billie Kay get put out.
Yeah.
In fairness.
Well, we'll quickly move on, and we'll get back to that point in a second, because entry number 12 was Santana Garrett, which was
a surprise.
Yeah.
I believe my actual words were when she got eliminated, see you in another 6 months.
Pretty much. Again,
my words were, oh, Grizzle really like this.
I did. And then...
Oh, we forgot to mention Shotzi's elimination.
Yeah, I messaged immediately into the group chat, you okay, Graz?
And then I replied back saying, he's away at the toilet, he missed it. And then he came back.
Probably for the best.
He came back, and I'm like, sorry for your loss.
And I was just like, wait, who got thrown out? And he was like, Shotzi, and I'm like, oh, god damn it.
Shotzi was the first person.
First one out.
It was like that time where one of the very few times where I actually fell asleep and then I missed Kairi Sane's entire Rumble run, and then I woke up as she got dumped out, and I was like, was that Kairi? And you were like, yeah, I tried to wake you up for the past 5 minutes. And then it was just like, and then the only instance of Kairi I got to see is her getting thrown over the top rope. But the reason I stopped the earlier conversation was purely because Liv Morgan, entry number 13, and she was eliminated by Peyton Royce, so at least Peyton got a little bit of kind of revenge.
Squad revenge.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to fly over to America to eliminate her myself for that fucking outfit. Jesus Christ.
I know, Jesus Christ.
Christina Aguilera couldn't make that work back in 2003. What makes Liv Morgan think that she can make it work in 2021?
What?
18
Disagree.
years later,
Disagree in both accounts.
I says to Ben, see if I was her mammy, I'd be shouting, ho, Liv, in!
I love how like in your world, Liv Morgan's mum uses her kayfabe name.
Well, I don't know her fucking name. Olivia. Oh, Olivia, in!
Do you know why she's called Liv Morgan?
Because you only live once.
And uses that you only live once.
Are you going to tell us some sad story like or so?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she legitimately tried to kill herself and then like kind of stopped herself at the last minute, and that's where she got you only live once. So Liv Morgan thing.
Where does the Morgan come from?
I don't know, but it's the whole live thing. It's like,
Did she have one of them for her school bag when she went to school?
what, I Liv Morgan.
A Liv Morgan bag.
That's.
Maybe she.
Oh look! There's Shotzi's projectile.
And Chris's jokes.
See the fact you made that joke, that means you got my joke. Don't give me that shit.
Maybe she's tried to drown her sorrows with a big bottle of Captain Morgan's.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's really put a damper on this.
Yeah. Anyway,
Let's
keep
get
going
to
with the
number
match.
14. My pick to win the Royal Rumble.
Yes, our pick to win that won the Royal Rumble, Rhea Ripley.
And we'll get to why we think she won the Royal Rumble shortly.
No, because we don't think we saw. Anyway, entry number 15, Charlotte Flair, who ended up getting in the final 3. 16 was Dana Brooke, who just was there. Good for her. Entry number 17 was Tori Wilson. She's back.
Is she not been in every women's Royal Rumble?
I
think so.
I don't think she was in last year's, but she's been in like the other 2.
I get the feeling she was in last year's.
She also 2019 was the first one.
2018 was the first one.
Yeah, there's been 4 now. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
fair enough. No,
I
fair
still
enough. Fair
want the
enough.
first one.
Fair enough. I brain farted there. See where I was
Yeah.
basing that off of, because I remember watching the first Women's Royal Rumble, and it was me, you guys, and Debbie in my old flat,
And
and I was like, yes, and Al was there as well. And I was like, my old flat, and I was like, but I didn't live there January that year, but I did. I moved in January that year. I think I just moved in just before
Yeah.
the Rumble. So
yeah, because
sorry, brain fart.
that was the Asian invasion year where both Asuka and Shinsuke won their respective Rumbles.
Yes, which was 3 years ago, because Nakamura had a cracking promo on Instagram about it. Yes.
Entry number 18 was Lacey Evans, who came out with a Ric Flair robe. Number 19 was, I don't know if this was a return or if this was just a one-off, but she's still under the Raw roster. 19 was Mickie James, who has new gear. Like, she's all in the full body catsuit now. So one would think that she would want to get some use out of that.
Maybe in NWA.
Yeah, probably. Entry number 20 was Nikki Cross, who's made her first appearance in what seems like forever.
With new music? Question mark.
Had it for
She
a
had that
little
ages
while.
ago. She had that ages ago.
Oh,
She
I
had that
don't-
basically after the first breakup with, not the first breakup, after the breakup with Alexa.
I don't
Because
like
Alexa,
That's the
I
first
like
I've heard it, and I
I
don't.
don't, Grace doesn't like it either. Shut up, Alexa.
Yeah, because
I like
nothing says angry mad Scotswoman like some good old American country.
But it's not American country though. It's just a rock tune with a female singer. Like, see, honestly, right? See if you listen to it properly. Once we can listen to it properly.
Exactly.
So when you listen to it properly, it's just a rock song, but it's got a female singer on it that has a bit of an accent. See if that was like, see if it had a male singer on it, it would just be like a heavy rock song. The female voice on it kind of softens it up a little bit. But
If they were going to give this to
it's
anybody,
very, I think it's very Motley Crue.
It sounded quite poppy to me rather than rocky.
Mhm. Mm.
It sounds kind of mainstream rock to me. Like, I think it's very Motley Crue. Like,
I don't know.
once it's on Spotify and we can actually listen to it, we'll then have the debate about it. But from what I've heard, the couple of times I've heard it on TV, I like it.
Have you heard that new Nikki Cross music? I have,
I have,
and I
and
like
I
it.
like it. What about the new Story Station?
I can't get my horns in one.
Because I don't get the references, so I can't play. So entry number 21 was Alicia Fox.
Meh.
No, Raw legend Alicia Fox returned.
We actually had a conversation during this part of the Rumble, didn't we, Chris?
Mhm.
Alicia Fox, Hall of Famer, aye or no?
Yes.
No.
Robert?
Yes.
No.
Former Divas champion. And
To have a job as long as she's had one, that's pretty fucking impressive.
exactly, she knows where the bodies are hidden.
Yep.
Her and JTG.
Yeah, JTG must have told her.
I just said the way out, you just kind of whispered, like, they're under the Tokyo Dome.
They're in Vince's basement!
Ah! Which
Oh,
is the
Alicia, did you
Tokyo.
hear that?
And it turns out that he was telling it to somebody else and she overheard. It's like, well, she knows now.
Yeah.
So, after Alicia makes her entrance, this is the part where R-Truth runs out and he starts to get in the ring, and then he's like, Fox is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then he's like, oh, my bad. I'm in the wrong Rumble. And Tozawa, Gulak, Lucha House Party, etc., they all come out. So R-Truth gets in the ring, starts using Alicia Fox as a weapon to get rid of all of them. And then Alicia Fox goes for it, gets a roll up. 1, 2, 3. Alicia Fox wins the 24/7 title. How can you not say that as a Hall of Fame career?
I completely agree with you guys. I think she should be a Hall of Famer. And I think the video package that they play before it with the pure fucking iconic music and all that should embody that moment as being kind of her crowning achievement in the WWE.
Exactly.
I think Robert looks like he's about to top himself.
I think her fucking crowning achievement at WWE when she was dancing with that goon in ECW.
DJ Gabriel?
Aye. Or when Edge pumped her. There's her crowning achievement. Edge pumped her.
You sure did.
Did he? Aye. I
Yeah.
don't think I could love Edge anymore.
Alicia
Yeah.
Fox's debut in WWE was she was the wedding planner for Edge and Vicky Guerrero.
Oh.
And Triple H basically
Did
had a camera right in front of them.
Yes,
It's
I
so-
remember that. Yes. But did Wade Barrett not pump her in real life for a while?
Aye,
Yes.
wait, aye.
That was a
Total
storyline
Divas-
that told Divas.
Another Total Divas storyline that I'll tell you about in the future.
We should just have a Total Divas episode.
Just call it Turning Divas. Fuck it. Turning Japanese, Turning Divas. Fuck it.
Everything's turning.
Everything's turning around.
The
That's
Melvin's
what
off.
you think to it.
Everything's turning, Millhouse. Entry number 22 was Mandy Rose, who...
22?
Oh, man! Who was the one that eliminated Alicia Fox, and then while Alicia was coming to terms with her loss in this match, R-Truth went and rolled her up and won the 24/7 title back. Even to the point where Alicia Fox then got up and started chasing after the whole crew. Entry number 23 was Dakota Kai.
Who, unfortunately, was a very... I wish she was in the Rumble longer. She's one of my disappointments of this Rumble. She wasn't in it very long at all, was she? If memory serves me correct. I believe she was out within about 5 minutes.
She was 2 minutes 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because I got really excited when she came out, and then she was out almost instantly. It's like, well, that was pointless.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since she's obviously quite a big deal in NXT right now, so it was very disappointing to see her get chucked out so quickly. Not as quick, however, as entry number 24, which was Carmella, who lasted all of... Wait, that can't be right.
Carmella wasn't in long either.
No, wait, no, that can be right. No, technically it can't be right. Apparently it's saying that Carmella was in for 47 seconds, which is weird because she was eliminated by entry number 25, Tamina. So which would imply there wasn't even a minute between these two entrants.
Oh, she was fucking about for ages outside the ring.
So this is probably just counting actual
Ring
in-ring.
time.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough then. I'll give you that.
And then Reginald held her for like what felt like 20 seconds outside the ring
Mhm.
before he dropped her.
Yes. Okay. So was that during Tamina's entrance that?
Yeah, because Tamina came down and she went to super kick Reginald.
Yeah, and he
And he
dropped
went to
Carmella
block,
in the process.
And he dropped her in the process.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I forgot about that part. Entry number 26 was Lana coming out in her all gold gear. Anything for Lana?
I love Lana. But I don't
Yeah.
think I have to explain how much I love Lana to
Yeah.
anyone.
I think
I
you kind
will
of
say
did.
that I'm glad that the payoff for this whole getting put through the table every fucking week was just her eliminating Nia Jax and not winning the Rumble by doing nothing.
Yeah. Which we did speak about for a long time, saying that there's potential of that to happen.
Do you
I
think
would
that
not.
was
I
the
honestly
scary?
would not have been against that happening.
Do you think that was the scary finish that was being rumored that WWE were seriously considering?
Maybe. Or maybe it was Goldberg wins.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. I would love to know now what that was.
Because it was all just very. I wouldn't be surprised if WWE put that out themselves just so that folk would maybe have morbid curiosity.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it definitely got us a bit about the whole thing. Entry number 27 was Alexa Bliss, who lasted all of about a minute. So she came in, she started doing some stuff, attacking some people, and then she started getting beat down by everybody. And then she starts to go through her transformation where everybody just stood there's like, uh-oh, she's transforming. And then Rhea Ripley's like, I ain't gonna deal with this. Yeets! And just throws her out before she can do anything.
Which means Rhea Ripley watches Raw.
Yeah, exactly. She knows what to do. Entry number 28 was Ember Moon, who bizarrely had her new NXT theme song, but her old WWE Titantron.
She's
How
on
the
NXT.
fuck did you notice that, man?
Because her old Titantron has a massive moon and eerie Ember Moon writing on it.
Yeah, but does she even have it? Well, she probably does have a type John in NXT, but it just says her name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I-
it doesn't look
it's
like
on-
that.
That genuinely isn't something that I would have picked up on.
I'm pretty sure I said that to you at the time.
No, you did. I'm pretty sure you did actually, but I was just kind of like, meh, does it matter?
That's why Grizz is our guy.
Yeah, I know it's all the stupid dumb things. Entry number 29 was Nia Jax, which, as you said, Robbo, was eliminated by Lana. But Nia Jax did end up getting 4 eliminations before she got chucked out, and she was only in there for less than 3 minutes, so she got 4 eliminations from this, and then she got chucked out by Lana, as you said, and then entry number 30, who won the right to be number 30 by defeating Tamina on Backstage of all shows. Natalia, who also came out in gold gear, she got in the ring. The first thing she did was hug Lana, her long-time friend.
Yeah, before mind when they done the teaming up thing a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd been pals on Total Divas for like 4 seasons before that.
So no Eva Marie, sadly, as the 30 are now in, and so it gets whittled down to the final 4 being Natalia and Rhea and Bianca and Charlotte. So Natalia was the first to go, with then Bianca and Rhea Ripley eliminating Charlotte, and Bianca then starts continuously making weird noises like an injured puppy. I assume she was attempting to woo.
Yeah, she was trying to woo at Charlotte because she doesn't go here.
Yeah, but Morris just says like, I
think she was mocking Charlotte rather than trying to do the woo.
Then both Rhea and Bianca end up going over the top rope as Rhea tries to eliminate Bianca and Bianca pulls her over. And then this is where Bianca's feet hit the floor and Rhea Ripley wins the Royal Rumble and wins me 40 quid. But apparently none of the refs seen that.
Yep, it was fucking clear as the nose in your face that both their fucking feet touched the floor, man.
Do you know, we need to get the Big Show back. Big Show needs to come back and fight for Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, and punch Bianca in her ugly face.
Right, I wouldn't go that far, but there has been an injustice that hasn't been addressed. Could it maybe get sorted inside an Elimination Chamber?
Well, no, because that's not going to get me the 40 quid.
See, Grizz, you have to be able to handle that sometimes you're going to get cheated out winning a bet.
Oh, the big cheat, the biggest of cheats. Like
It happened to me a few weeks ago betting on football where I bet a particular player to get sent off, right? Said player then practically punched another player in the face during the game, and the referee only booked him, but it should have been a red card. And then, once it got escalated, the team that he played for, not saying who they are, turned around and says, yes, we agree, it should have been a red card. We will accept the suspension of said player. That didn't give me my fucking money.
Nope.
Bastards.
Nope. So the two of them start fighting, dangling, and then Rhea goes, right, let's not do anything too hasty here. Let's just get back in the ring. So the two of them get back in the ring, and then they have a little bit of an exchange, including a really cool looking thing where they both run at each other, grab each other's hair, and just do this massive like helicopter move, splat on the mat. And then eventually the match ends with Bianca Belair clotheslining Rhea Ripley over the top rope to win the Royal Rumble. The next match on the card was...
I actually want to have a conversation with you, right?
Okay.
And it's just sheer curiosity. What is it that you don't like so much about Bianca Belair?
I just don't think she's good.
Really?
I think she's one of the best women they've produced in a long time.
I think the hair thing's stupid and annoys me. I hate her entire gimmick.
I'm sure if we go back to episodes when she first started in NXT, we were talking about the hair thing being great.
Yeah, at the time, but now it's really annoying because she doesn't even use the hair whip thing, the thing that made it cool. I do remember when she was in the Mae Young Classic, we talked about how awesome that was, and she doesn't even do it. So what's the point in having it? Cut your fucking hair.
She does jump rope with her hair. That's fucking awesome.
Rhea Ripley was my pick to win for the Rumble, but I'm not mad at Bianca winning.
Me neither. I'm not mad at it at all.
The thought of Bianca versus Sasha really excites me.
See that meme I tagged you in yesterday? The Daniel Bryan one? It was actually more meant for Bianca Belair.
Well, it worked for both, to be honest.
I know, but you weren't that annoyed about the Daniel Bryan one.
I know. I think with that one, I thought like Daniel Bryan was much more of a long shot than Rhea was. And especially when Rhea was getting down to the final two, I was like, this is it. This is fucking it. I'm winning this. I'm getting my money back and then some, so that even if Bryan loses, I'm still coming up a winner. And then I did come up a winner, and I've still not been paid my money. So I have been actually tweeting at Skybet with the photo of Bianca's feet touching the floor and going, so am I getting my money or not? They haven't come back to me.
You get my money? You get my money, punk?
Give
me my money.
Yeah. No, just and then I hate this thing she does all the time. It's so fucking.
To be fair, that does annoy me too.
Everyone who is young. It's called clapping back.
Don't care. It's stupid. Stop doing it. don't even know if I'd done that properly. Fucking young people these days.
Usually use it with like shorter sentences. So, for example, Sha Pat Graz.
Fuck you.
Touche.
So we go backstage, and Ms. Morrison are trying to make a collab with Bad Bunny. He says no.
I'm muted straight away. As soon as I heard them mention the bunny, mute.
I mean, if it was AEW's the Bunny, that would have been a different situation. But
Or if it was WWE's the bunny, different situation.
that's a reference that's lost on me.
Adam Rose's bunny?
Oh shit!
The bunny!
Or the Easter Bunny that was in the 2003 APA's Invitational Bar Brawl.
Yeah. And I'm sure he was in a Rumble as well.
That was Adam Rose's Bunny that was in the Rumble. Maybe they were from the same family.
Well, that one clearly was the troubled child.
Yeah, he never came back. Fun fact, in 2003, that bunny that was in that bar brawl was Damien Sandow.
Interesting.
And it was Sami Zayn about 40 million times as well.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn, Justin Gabriel, it swatched.
But
I think the most regular one was Sammy though, was it not? Because there's like, remember the bunny used to do the crossbody off the top rope. They had Sami Zayn's fucking wrist tape on, like you could pure see it.
Sally.
But
I think Sammy was probably doing that on purpose.
But the last point I'll make of it, and then we'll quickly move on, is it was also a question and a quiz, and I managed to get it right somehow. Where it was, they started naming, like, it's like the question was like a who am I thing, where it's like, here's your 3 hints, and 2 of them was, I made my pay-per-view debut in 2003, then my next pay-per-view was over however many years later, and
2 years.
2 years later. Oh yeah, because they wrestled.
They're a tag team against London Kendrick.
Okay, then maybe it wasn't that. But my only win on pay-per-view, I think it was in a ladder match so many years later. Who am I? And then it was Damien Sandow. And then I was like, well, I knew that Sandow was kind of around at that point, kinda. And then that's when they told us after we got it right. I think we were the only people who get it right. And it was mainly off my only pay-per-view win was in a ladder match at Money in the Bank. Sorry. I got a fucking weird message. And I think the only reason I got it is because of my only pay-per-view win was at Money in the Bank. And then that afterwards was when they told us, yeah, Damien Sandow was a person under the bunny costume in the bar brawl. So there you go. Yep, so Bad Bunny said no to the collab, and then they were like, seriously? Well, you're talking to the two people that are arguably the favourites to win this match, and you ain't going to collab with us, but yet you'll write a song about Booker T. Booker T shows up, says, tell me you didn't just say that, and then they run away, yada yada. So we go back to the pre-show panel where they start discussing Bianca's win. This is when Truth pops back up and tells Rosenberg to get out his seat so that he can give him a seat. And then you just see Rosenberg doing that kind of in the background, and I was wondering what he was doing at first.
No, you instantly went, no.
And then Rosenberg says, oh yeah, John Cena's here, he's just over there. And Truth's like, I gotta go. And then Rosenberg low blows R-Truth and then starts to like try and insert himself inside R-Truth as he wins the 24/7 title.
I'm not laughing that he won, I'm laughing at that he tried to insert himself.
Like, clearly.
A very accurate description, to be fair.
It was very reminiscent of Edge and Beulah McGillicuddy in One Night Stand.
Very reminiscent of me last night. Oh,
Oh, see.
See, wait, we're not done yet. No, cancel that. Cancel that. We'll very quickly move on to Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, last man standing for the Universal Championship. I will very quickly just run through this match, then we'll just talk about it as a concept. So Owens and Reigns start fighting through the Thunderdome pretty much almost immediately, through all the screens, which was quite awesome to see, like the kind of how it was all set up essentially. They fight to the edge of a structure, which Owens ends up getting launched off of through some tables. Owens gets up before the 10 count, but then kind of just wanders off, crawling around backstage. The ref starts getting in his face saying, "Oh man, you need to show me that you can defend yourself, otherwise this match is over." And then, literally out of nowhere, Roman Reigns runs over Kevin Owens with a golf cart, sending him through the windshield. And this will be the part, if Chris was here, which he's not, where he was talking about Kevin Owens kind of gives that thumbs up as soon as he lands, like, it's okay, I'm fine. But I bet you somewhere Sammy Guevara's like, "That's my spot."
well, AEW did repost the clip of Sammy getting ran over again,
I bet they did.
like 20 minutes after that spot happened.
Owen manages to fight back and sends Roman through the spare announcer's table with a frog splash off some trunks. Reigns gets back up and Owen sets Reigns up for something bigger. He starts to pull out a ladder, then decides to go for a forklift instead, which he puts up to the highest point. Then has a senton off the top rope onto Reigns. Reigns gets up at the 9 count. They begin to fight back in the arena, and then there's a spear through the stage. And then Owens just manages to roll off the edge of the stage at a 9 count. So Reigns gets some handcuffs and attempts to cuff Owens, but Owens fights free, gets the cuffs on Reigns, and cuffs him to the very bottom of like the kind of lighting rig that was set at ringside. The ref begins his count, and as the ref gets to 9, Reigns grabs the ref and sends him into part of the lighting rig, which knocks him out. Heyman then runs over with the keys and then starts trying to unlock the cuffs as Owens comes in and gets a low blow hitting him by Reigns. A second referee comes as Heyman is still trying to unlock the cuffs and then begins the count again. Then, this is probably the worst part, was when you see the ref get to 5 and he kind of goes, come on, get up. And then just kind of stops counting.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
So then you clearly just see the cameraman just go, "That's enough of you, referee. What's going on here?" And that was the point where Reigns realized, well, fuck. So he starts squatting, kind of technically on his feet. So it constitutes standing up, I guess.
Yeah, I feel sorry for his poor wrists, man. Like, that fucking looks so fucking awkward.
Well, did you see his face the second he finally got unhooked? And what I done was, I actually timed from the second that Kevin Owens clipped the thing to the moment he got unhandcuffed.
Must have been about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes.
It was nearly 2.5 minutes, but it felt longer because obviously
so awkward
with the fumbling.
yeah. And then, like, the second that Reigns got free, you could see him like that. And you could tell
Right.
it was probably genuine pain because his arm was probably bent in a really weird way to try and.
Yeah.
He wears the glove
Yeah.
thing on his arm, so like the fabric or whatever it's made of, I would imagine would be digging in, rubbing, causing
Tight.
some friction.
Yeah.
I'd said to Grizz though, like, see during this spot, I was like, how good would it be if Heyman goes, the keys aren't working, and the camera pans round and Owens is standing behind him with a set of keys, like that he knew that was going to happen and he'd swapped the keys out before the match, and then that's how he won. I'm like, that'd be great, but
That would have been.
alas. But during all this, I was like, I bet you Owens just swapped the keys out.
Yeah. So Reigns finally gets free after 2.5 minutes, as I say, and then locks in the guillotine instantly and chokes Owens out. This was a great match. It was only very, very slightly kind of like it just lost like a quarter of a point because of the fucking handcuffs not working.
I wonder if like Reigns' wrist injury is maybe concerning for the fact that they finished it straight away. Like, maybe not necessarily like it's definitely he's fucked. It might just be a case of I've had to bend my wrist in a really awkward position for quite a length of time. Like,
I think they maybe just wanted to end it after the handcuff thing didn't go the way they wanted. And they maybe just went, fuck it. Or it's just sheer coincidence that maybe that was how it was meant to be. As soon as they gets up into the guillotine. But after all the after all the shit that they done though, the throwing him off the stands and through the tables, then the senton running him over, I was like, right, what the fuck is this finish going to be? Because you've done like 3 or 4 finishes here that you would have totally believable.
Yeah, I think you're kind of right with that.
Did Kevin Owens not say in his promo before it that as long as he's still breathing, he's getting back up? So Reigns stopped him breathing for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
That must have been on the pre-show because I never.
I'm sure it was on SmackDown. Oh no, what? It was on SmackDown this week. It was the side to side.
Right, well, there you go. That's how I never seen it.
It was on the site. They done an interview side to side thing, and Kevin Owens gave this pure and passionate promo about how fucking he wants Universal title back, and he's like, the thing you're not understanding, Roman, is it doesn't matter how many times you hit me with a chair, it doesn't matter what you do to me, as long as I'm still breathing, I'm getting back on my feet. So the guillotine stopped him breathing for a while.
Yeah. And I think Robert, you're kind of right. Is like I think that was evidently meant to be the finish. So Reigns hits the low blow, and then he was meant to spring right back up and get that guillotine, but because of the delay of the cuffs, is what caused the ending to look a bit more janky.
Yeah.
But I mean, still a great match overall. Just the ending took up from it just very slightly.
Like Robert was saying about the amount of spots in that match that should have been the finish but weren't. I think it made sense going by the promo on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But Kevin Owens kept getting back up like he promised he would do, and it wasn't until fucking Reigns had literally stopped him breathing that he didn't get back up.
Yeah. Now that you've explained that in hindsight, cool, I now get it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But yeah, still that was definitely the best non-Rumble match of the night, regardless of the janky finish. But now what we'll do is we'll just move swiftly on. One more thing just before we get to this. As we say, from Raw, Bad Bunny was on Miz TV, and he did imply that, one of my other dreams was to be a wrestler, and then they are like, we're sorry for last night, and then Bad Bunny was like, oh, thanks, I appreciate your apology, and they're like, is there anything you want to say to us? And he's like, no, and it's like, oh, so you don't think that you treated us badly last night, and whatever happened at the Rumble happened, and then this was the introduction of Damian Priest on Raw. So I feel like with that, like the whole Bad Bunny saying, oh yeah, I've wanted to be a wrestler as well as being a multi-Latin winning something or other. So I feel like that call that was made earlier of Bad Bunny wrestling at WrestleMania is absolutely happening.
Do you know what? I'm just going to put it out there on Twitter. Do you know it's my dream to be a wrestler, and then I'll get a match at WrestleMania.
Sweet.
So I mean, nobody knows who I am, so I fit.
Can I be your
fit
manager?
well.
Can I be your manager?
Aye.
Fucking Yaldi.
Yeah, you can manage my bags into the locker room.
Hey!
I'll walk you down to the ring.
Oh no, I am Beyonce. I don't need no Destiny's Child.
Go fuck yourself then, Jesus. It's my dream to be a wrestler and beat up my fellow co-host.
John Cena?
Beat up John Cena. Okay, so the night before on WWE Backstage, they announced the first two entrants into the Royal Rumble match. Entrant number 1 is Randy Orton. And entry number 2 is Edge. Wow. What an insane first two. They're going to go at it on their own for the first 90 seconds. And so now we get to the men's Royal Rumble match where Edge enters number 1. What? That's not what you told me last night.
I watched it back. And what they say when you watch it back is the first two entrants. They don't specify which one's number 1 and which one's number 2. They just say they're the first two entrants. You would think in your head that means number 1 and 2. I get that. And I completely agree with that.
See,
but
you
they
have
don't specify that Orton is number 1 at any point.
When you have a giant number 1 next to Randy Orton, huh, what would that imply?
I know, but they never say that means that it's just the first two entrants, not specifically the first person that comes out is number 1.
This is clearly their problem.
Yes, totally is their problem. But you know what? I don't care because I won my bet.
Look at me! I won money. I'm not.
I said to Chris when we were watching the Rumble, I was like, something's just dawned on me, and I was like, I was going to put another bet on the Rumble just before it started, and I decided not to. But see the fact that I'd Edge to win it, and then he was drawing number 1 or 2. See when that came out, I should have put money on number 2 to win the Rumble because I got I'd got like 50 to 1 or something like that on that, and then I'd have been railway raging if that didn't fucking pan out. But
exactly. So number 1 was Edge, number 2 was Randy Orton, and these two had a match of their own pretty much throughout the first sort of 10 minutes maybe of the match, maybe not even 10 minutes. I think
I felt the entries into the Rumble were longer during this period as well. I've always thought that they say it's every 2 minutes. It's never every 2 minutes, but see during this wee stage of it, I thought it felt longer than 2 minutes between entries.
Yeah, because this was the kind of part where Edge and Orton started fighting around the outside. Sami Zayn was in number 3, and then Edge and Sami started interacting, and then, you know, he would just be beaten down, and then Edge and Orton would just kind of go back at it for a while. And this kind of kept happening between the next couple of entrants as Edge hits an execution on the announcer's table and then hits Orton's knee with a chair. So Orton is taken away by the doctors. But Jesus, did they really draw that part out?
Say the fact that it was so drawn out and they kept putting the camera onto Randy Orton, I knew he wasn't injured.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, see the thing that annoyed me about it, right? It was very obvious he was going to be out the full match and then come back right at the end. How many times have they done that before? But what annoyed me about it is, see when he comes back later on, there is no fucking thing of the injury at all. He's moving perfectly fine.
Well, to be honest,
if he got in the ring and hobbled up behind Edge and then hit the RKO, fine. But he didn't. He fucking swift into the ring, straight up RKO, and it's like, well, fuck all rang me then.
He's a snake. That's the point. He's a snake.
Yeah, I suppose.
If you hurt yourself and then had an hour to recuperate, I'm sure you would be able to move better than you would have at the time.
Well, not if you've just been fucking had your kneecap caved in by a steel chair to the point it shredded your fucking knee pad.
Well, let's try it then. Next time I'm at yours, I'll hit you in the knee with a chair and see how you're doing like an hour after.
Okay. Just as long as you don't hit my bad knee, you can hit my good knee. And if Fergal jumps in your face and starts clawing you, that's your fault.
Aw. Hello. Meow!
Bear in mind, I was the one bedridden a few weeks ago with that gout. I fucking couldn't get out of my bed. And the wee man was my pure protector. I don't know if I told you this.
You couldn't get out your bed.
Yeah, I couldn't get out of bed. But the wee man was fucking lying at the bottom of my bed. And then when I went to sleep, he got up and sat right at the door. We just sat staring at the door, waiting for it to move in case anyone came in. And I'm like, yes, it's a wee guard kitten.
Who are you to gout El Gandhi?
Anyway, gout's not funny. It's incredibly painful for anyone that listens to this that suffers from it. I love you.
It's nothing to laugh about.
Right, that's. I think that's been one too many. I think you need to get out of here.
We laugh because we love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so.
I mean, I'm kind of neutral.
Oh no, I love the big guy.
I think you're just alright too, to be honest.
I know if it wasn't for this podcast, we probably wouldn't even be friends.
I don't want to be like that. Fuck off, dude.
Stay this guy. Doesn't even use his real name. Entry number 4 was Mustafa Ali, the only
No.
member.
Mustafa.
That does my fucking boxing.
I beg your pardon. Mustafa Ali.
It was Mustafa Ali for how long and suddenly it was Mustafa?
Aye,
Yeah,
because he
because-
explained it on Raw Talk.
Yeah, he did. He actually brought up a promo saying, yeah, they've been pronouncing my name wrong for years.
And I was such
okay,
a
fair
nice
enough.
guy about it, I didn't bother. But now I demand respect.
Mhm.
Say my name. If you're going to say my name, say it right.
I'm
Which
sorry.
is probably why he went by Ali for so long.
Yeah. Which actually all makes sense now.
Yeah.
They tried, and then he could have went further with it. Oh, they tried to downplay it by dropping the Mustafa as well. So I beg your pardon. Entry number 4, and I'll do it one more time. Mustafa Ali, the only member of Retribution in this match.
Well, that's because Mace was helping fucking Carmella all night.
Yeah, when they put Mace in the tumble dryer for too long and he shrank.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I was saying that Mace and Reginald look alike.
Wait.
They're not the
No.
same. They're
They're
not.
not
okay.
the same person.
Okay, cool. I was like,
Just
whoa,
look
whoa,
alike.
wait.
I can't believe I nearly got you with that one.
Yeah. Ah, no, we should have like really continued with that.
Yeah, you really should have. You'd have had the hook, line, and sinker.
Hook, line, and stinker. Entry number 5 was Jeff Hardy. That was, I'm going to say it was the absolutely most underwhelming entrant in the entire Royal Rumble because he lasted all of 3.5 minutes and then got eliminated.
Jeff never does well in Rumbles. He never has.
In fact, he was the first person to be eliminated from this match.
Yeah.
Entry
Jeff
number
never does well in a Rumble. Never.
Entry number 6 was Dolph Ziggler, which, if I remember correctly, Robert Roode is not in this match, and he was also not at the Superstar Spectacle, which is now leading me to believe that Robert Roode is not on TV for reasons right now.
It's a
COVID.
I mean, it's a
He's got
practical
the
conclusion
COVID.
you've came to.
Thank you.
I don't know if he's
Elementary,
got
my
the COVID.
dear Watson.
I just want to clarify, I don't know if he's got COVID or not. I just realised I'm shouting COVID and all that, and I have no idea.
It's
Yeah.
just superstar speculation.
But I mean, he literally just came back, and as far as I've heard, I haven't heard any injury reports. So probably the more likely thing would probably be maybe came in contact with somebody that may or may not have COVID and needed to isolate.
Mm-hmm. And because he's not high profile enough, they didn't announce it.
And that's got to be kind of gutting. One half of your SmackDown Tag Team Champions is not high profile enough to mention that they have COVID. Or have to quarantine.
Makes sense.
Entry number 7 was my second pick, which I used one of my free bets on. Shinsuke Nakamura. If he would have won, I would have came out of this match with 135 bones.
When did they get the old music back?
A few weeks ago, it was SmackDown. It was really cool.
Are they? So he's a good guy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, basically he said that. I basically said he cut a promo about fucking after he came out to the Rising Sun music, and he was like, for a long time I started to doubt myself that the King of Strong style really existed, so I started doing things, and I've now realised I was more successful as the King of Strong style, so the King of Strong style is back.
Yay.
Yeah. When it was in that gauntlet a couple of weeks ago and almost went the distance.
Yeah.
So
It's like I took a decision to think of myself as the king of strong style again, and I've been infinitely more successful doing it. So the king is back, and then he came back with the old music and all that, and yay!
And the old gear. He's no longer dressed like a ninja.
yes, yeah, he showed up with his pants. Look at them black pants.
His sexy pants.
His Juja pants.
New Japans! I love it!
Japan's.
Entry number 8, speaking of returns, was Carlito. It looks like he's back now because he wrestled on Raw.
But he can't do it. It's weird because you expect him to chew the apple and spit it, but clearly you can't just now.
Yeah, on Raw he came out without an apple and it was kind of pointing at his head like, I forgot my apple.
The story I hear about Carlito is, I said this to you on Sunday, I think it is.
You certainly
I've
did.
heard that he was potentially getting a producer's role with WWE. It looks like that's what he's doing. So hopefully they keep him on TV whilst he's being a producer, like they were doing with Matt Hardy for a while.
Absolutely.
Because he's the best he's ever looked, and he's probably the best he's ever worked just now as well.
Exactly.
He's got
On Raw,
Yeah.
on Raw this week, I genuinely thought he was going to get the pin in that tag match.
Yeah, and he absolutely just didn't.
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, that's
Well,
upset.
That was disappointing. Entry number 9 was Xavier Woods, which we completely missed at the time. And then entry number 10 was Big E. And then
I remember that. I was like, where the fuck did Woods come from? And you're like,
I know.
I don't know.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I remember the New Day music hitting, but he'd done absolutely nothing until Big E showed up.
It was the commentator. It was like, oh, whoever it was hit Xavier Woods. And I was like, wait, Xavier Woods? What the fuck did he come from?
I was like, what was I doing at the time that even I missed that? I must have been pouring myself a drink. Or we must have been talking about Carlito or something. I don't know. Like, we were definitely distracted. Entry number 11 was John Morrison, who done absolutely nothing during his 8 minutes in this match. Ricochet was at number 12. Elias was at number 13 and didn't even do a funny song on the way to the ring, which was pointless. And he only lasted 2.5 minutes anyway. Then, entry number 14, who made a hell of a showing for himself, was Damian Priest from NXT.
He looked great in this match.
Yeah, this was a definite star-making moment for him.
Damian Priest actually got the biggest reaction from me, entrance-wise, the whole night. It wasn't like a yas or like a big groan or anything. It was an oh. It was a okay. Now shit's getting interesting.
Yeah, and I think Chris was like, "Is this is Damien Priest's main roster debut in it?" And it was like, "Well, actually, I think you'll find that he was on the NXT team at Survivor Series 2 years ago."
Yeah, I think it was.
Right, sorry, I was away getting a beer there, but I can still hear you talk. Right, two things. Grizz, you are completely right. I did make that mistake. I'll own up to it. I'll accept it. Robert,
Yeah.
seriously, you didn't mark out more for "If You Close Your Eyes Tonight."
That's not the lyrics.
I don't know, but when Christian came out, man,
I know,
Oh,
geez.
no,
I had
Damien-
almost tears in my eyes. It was
That's-
Oh,
the
Damien.
closest thing to Edge last year as you could get.
No,
How the hell
Christian
did
came out,
you-
and I like Christian. I'm a fan of Christian, but I went, oh, cool, it's Christian.
Oh, calm down, ECW. It's Christian.
I just kind of went, oh, it's Christian. Never meant anything bad or, oh, fuck, it's Christian. It was a pleasant surprise. But Damien Priest, it was just, oh. And plus, he came out basically dressed like Shawn Michaels, one of the kings of the Royal Rumble.
Well, actually, Jerry Lawler is the king of the Royal Rumble.
Says who?
Well, his nickname's the King, and he was in the Royal Rumble.
Fake
Before.
news.
Hey, he lasted like nearly an hour in that match by hiding under the ring.
The 1996 Rumble.
Yeah. Which, funnily enough, Shawn Michaels won. So it all wraps up in a neat little bow.
You're a ball.
Entry number 15 was The Miz, who lasted all of 62 seconds per Miz. See, other than that one Rumble, the 2012 Rumble, The Miz has never done well in Rumbles either.
I did cheer a lot when Miz came out because he wrecked that fucking laptop.
He
That
sure
Miz has basically just turned himself fucking babyface.
Yeah, in our eyes.
So I said this a few entries before this happened to Grizz. I was like, why the fuck are the decks still there?
Yeah, then The Miz goes and beats him up, and I just turned around and went, "That's why!"
Yeah. Ah, God, Bad Bunny's going to wrestle at WrestleMania.
Oh, and he's going to
Give me-
beat The
give me-
Miz.
Give
Actually,
me
you
fucking
better-
Goldberg at WrestleMania in his place. Give me Goldberg at his place.
Yeah, please.
I never
Fucking-
thought I would say this sentence, but I hope he gets COVID right before WrestleMania.
Or just be in contact with somebody that has COVID.
Guys, can I let you know I'm a COVID survivor, and that deeply offends me.
Oh, you poor son.
It doesn't really. I just felt shite for about a week, and then I was fine.
Entry number 16 was Riddle, who actually put up a hell of a showing with over 30 minutes in this match. Then entry number 17, and I was feeling really good about this for a good couple of minutes. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Daniel was my pick to win this as well.
Yep.
He look, I love his, say the way he looks just now with his haircut. I really like it.
He looks
It's,
sophisticated, doesn't he?
I like
This is-
it.
He looks like a uni professor.
This
And
is the
then-
kind of thing that he's always said was he always likes going through different looks. So
Right.
it's kind of
He was,
like
he, was,
he had
was rocking-
caveman style, bald
was-
style.
he was rocking a pretty badass fucking tweed suit on SmackDown before the Rumble.
And I thought his gear,
Very
so like the wee side panels, I thought it was hash leaves he had on it. But it wasn't
Probably.
because I don't think he partakes.
Oh,
Maybe
he
he
definitely
does.
doesn't, man.
He's a naturalist, so he might.
But maybe he uses it for things other than fun. I don't know what else, but anyway. Entry number 18 was Kane, the mayor of Knox County.
Kane!
That's
Oh
gotta
my
be
God!
Kane.
Did you see the absolute clickbait articles on Monday about Kane?
Go on.
About Damien Priest? Oh my fucking God! Right, get this. They've done a WWE Network exclusive thing that they do that they put on YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. It was an interview with Kane after the match, right? And it said, Kane, how do you feel about it? And he spoke about it. And it's like, it's very strange. It's a very new locker room now compared to what I'm used to. So he's been away for a while. It's like, but it's like, it's good to be coming in and seeing all these new guys and getting to talk to them. And he's like, he was like, they all give me this, oh, you're a legend. And I'm like, I'm not a legend. I'm just one of you and all that. And then, like, so your Royal Rumble appearance, how did it go? And you were eliminated by Damien Priest. And he went, what was it he said? Wasn't it sucks? It was, like, let's just say it sucks, for example. And it's like, it sucks I went out when I did. I would like to have won it. But then he went on to talk about how much potential Damien Priest has and all that. It's like, Damien Priest is a great wrestler. All the fucking...
clickbait article said that Kane thinks Damien Priest sucks.
It was basically, it was like Kane thinks that this sucks about current NXT wrestler. Right? Then when you actually watched the video, he's like, it was fucking kayfabe. It wasn't kayfabing it. He was having a laugh, and he's like, it sucks I got thrown out. I wanted to win it, and all that. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was just fucking, like, oh man, it was so bad. I watched it, and I was like, this is fucking horrendous that these fucking news websites are throwing out these fucking articles that Kane says that Damien Priest sucks. No, he didn't.
Yeah.
There's a special place in hell for these people.
Yeah, and Kane will be standing there at the front door like, come on.
Aye.
Here's your pineapple. Up the butt.
Yeah. But it was fucking, I watched it and I was like, yeah, he didn't say anything that this article says that he said. You could watch it, and if you watched it out of context, you could pick things out. But that's what he's saying. But it wasn't like, he was just having a laugh. And they went, oh, you were eliminated by Damien Priest. How'd you feel? And he's like, oh, it sucks. I wanted to win it. And then he goes on to say how fucking good Damien Priest is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's like, glossed all over that.
Yeah. It's fucking unreal, man.
That is ridiculous.
Oh, fucking Dutch sheets. Fuck them.
Yep, exactly. That's part of the reason why we don't even bother doing news on this show. It's because we don't know what to trust and what not to trust, so we may as well just not bother talking about it.
Wait until we hear it from an official source.
Exactly. Wait until we hear it from the horse's mouth, like Edge is going to be on NXT tonight. Wasn't rumored by any fucking dirt sheet. It was put out by WWE and Edge themselves. So, entry number 19 was King Corbin. Entry number 20 was Otis. And then entry number 21 was Dominic Mysterio. And I don't know why, but I got hella excited when Dominic showed up. And I don't know if it's just because I forgot he was a wrestler for a little while. But
this is a SmackDown more or less every week. Oh my God. Am I becoming the guy that watches SmackDown?
You're going to be SmackDown guy.
Not every week. Like, he had like one match a couple of weeks ago against King Corbin, and I'm assuming maybe he showed up on SmackDown before the Rumble, which I haven't seen yet.
Is Tested on SmackDown before the Rumble?
That's what I just said. I haven't seen that yet.
Showed up. You said showed up. No, he wrestled on the SmackDown.
That's what I meant. I beg your pardon. Yeah, because like he shows up on SmackDown every week, but then it's like, you're a wrestler, go to wrestle. Like, I actually do want to see more of Dominic. He didn't really do. In fact, he was only in the match for about 2 minutes, but he did eliminate King Corbin. So essentially, that was a victory for him, I would say. Entry number 22 was Bobby Lashley, the United States champion. And they were really bigging up that Lashley was one of the favourites to win this.
I kind of
Well-
began to believe it.
It makes sense, to be fair. He should be a favourite to win. Like, if you want to try and treat this like a legitimate sport, he should be a favourite to win. He's a big, scary bastard with hurls of fucking strength. He should be a favourite to win.
Like, say with the way
Like,
that they were
I have
talking,
no issue with them touting anyone to be a favourite, even though they're not a favourite, really. But
Yeah.
if they look like they should be a favourite, I have no issue with commentary touting them as a favourite.
I think just
I
more,
actually thought at one point he was going to win.
which is weird because he was only in it for 4 minutes.
I know, but it's weird. Like, it made me feel like he was going to win.
The great thing about the Royal Rumble, though, you can get away with touting these guys that are fucking massive and all that and scary and fucking muscled. But the thing about the Royal Rumble is anyone can eliminate anyone. So
Yeah.
if they do get eliminated in 4 minutes, it doesn't mean that they weren't a favourite. It just means
Well-
that fucking luck didn't kind of run in their side at that moment because
Well, there you,
they get caught off guard by someone else because it's so
Well-
fucking chaotic. Do you know what I mean?
well, there you go. Because that was perfect for Lashley because it took 4 men to eliminate Lashley, being Big E, someone that's not in yet, Daniel Bryan and Riddle. So yeah, you're kind of right in that. Like they purposely all quadruple teamed Lashley to get him out. But what we'll do is we'll get into the final 2 surprises of this match. One of them was already mentioned, but the other has not. That being the Hurricane. Your silence says it all.
Yeah, that Hurricane made some gains and not in a good way.
Because he's a little podgy these days.
That looked like
Hey, come on. Think
it
about it.
looked as though he could join fucking Team Triple XL.
Yeah, but he's been pretty much retired for at least 5 years. He just does the odd little appearance, and to be fair, he's doing well for himself because in the last maybe 3 months, I think he's appeared on everything. He's been in AEW, he's been in TNA, he's been in fucking Gallows and Anderson's fucking thing, and he's been in WWE. Fair play to him.
Yeah, totally. It's called
Okay,
Talking
bro.
Shop on Mania. I think you'll find.
Talk to me, yes. Yeah, sorry. I did forget that's what it's called. But yeah, fucking,
Goddamn respect.
fair play to him. He's not a regular active wrestler. So that's going to happen. He's getting older now.
Neither's Davari.
That's true.
But Davari was always in better shape than Shane Helms was, let's be honest. Shane Helms was always kind of a wee skinny runt, like pretty much through his whole career.
So he should still be a skinny run.
I know, but again, that goes back.
Fucking leave him alone, man. If he wants to
Been
put on
thinking
a
about
bit
the
of
Jim
beef, let him put on a
Cornette
bit
too
of beef.
much.
In fact, actually, see, to be perfectly honest with you, I think it makes it funnier when he makes his comebacks and he's put on a bit of beef.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the opposite of what a superhero should be, which is what he's always been.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of, the Incredibles. When Mr. Incredible puts the suit on for the first time in like 20 years.
And it rips.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Oh, excuse me. I just, I was like, I got a bit taken off guard by the Incredibles reference that we were about to receive. And then, of course, entry number 24. It's Christian.
Oh, it's
You're
Christian.
And then I got too excited that I just started
Actually-
singing his
actually-
theme music.
Actually, what we forgot to say is I kind of half called this earlier in the Royal Rumble
Go on.
when Edge was getting double teamed and it kind of countdown, and I was like, oh, it's going to be Christian or someone else pro Edge that comes
Yeah.
out.
I know, and I just kind of fobbed it off like, it won't be Christian. And then his theme music hit, and I was just like, if you close your eyes, your life, naked truth revealed. And then I was like, wait, it's fucking Christian.
Also called Carlito as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because like throughout the I forgot to mention that earlier, throughout the whole women's rumble, during the last like 10 entries, it's like, it's gonna be Candice Michelle. No, okay, right, 5, 4, 3, it's Candice Michelle. No, right, hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2. It's Candice Michelle. No. And then entry number 29, and you're like, oh, it's Nia. Nia's still been in. Yeah, I was like, Candice Michelle. No, it's Nia. God damn it. And then it was like, well, we know 30's going to be Natalia, so, oh, no Candice.
My theory behind Carlito was that he didn't turn up on Legends Night and he was supposed to. So I'm like, Carlito.
Which was the exact reasoning I had for Candice.
R-Truth wasn't in the Rumble.
Yes, which I found really weird when he came out in the Women's Rumble and goes, oh, sorry, wrong Rumble.
Because I thought I was that, well, I know who that number's going to be in the Men's Rumble.
Yeah,
He
oh,
wasn't
man.
fucking in it.
That would have been
But the
perfect.
thing is, though,
number.
it came out after, like, a good few seconds after, so I think it was just a case of him coming out thinking you could just run into Rumble anytime you wanted.
I know, but
And then he lost his baby, so he's going to be chasing to get his baby back instead of going into the Rumble.
But see, that would have been funny if like his theme music hit and then it just cut backstage and like you seen like Rosenberg running into a car or something, and then Truth jumping into a car and chasing after him, and so he never actually made it to the Rumble. Yeah.
And then have someone come in his place that's ready.
Yeah. I don't. What number was Alicia Fox? She was 21, so 21.
Actually, pretty cool if they'd done that, where Rosenberg's ran away with the title, like you say, and it's like, oh fuck, this is R-Truth's number, and then you've got Adam Pearce backstage, and he's like, oh, we've lost R-Truth. Is anyone else ready? And the camera pans round, and you just see Christian. Then Christian's music hits, and they'd be like, yeah! It was still, the way they done it. But they're pretty cool visuals.
Maybe not.
Camera pan round, and Christian's like, yeah, I'm good. Let's go.
Maybe not even pan the camera around, just like.
Had the whole you don't see who they're talking to thing. Yeah, okay.
Okay, and then like maybe hand over the number or something. You just see a hand in front of the camera, and you're like, whose hand is that? Unless you're like really into hands.
I like hand stuff.
I like hands. I'm not such a fan of feet, but I do like hands.
Hands are handy.
I love going to the beach and looking at people's hands. Entry number 25 was AJ Styles coming out with Omos, who was arguably one of the best participants to not actually be in the Royal Rumble match.
I was going to say, you sure AJ Styles was number 5 and not his big bodyguard?
I had a
No,
theory.
because AJ Styles was 25, not 5.
Not a theory. I had an idea for that I said to Grizz. Well, it'd be brilliant if Omos had the most eliminations in this Royal Rumble without ever being in it.
That would have been
Technically, the most eliminations, I wasn't even in it.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it. Exactly. And yeah, because when you said that, I was like, oh man, that's totally going to need to be a segment in the by the numbers thing from now on. It's like, almost had the most eliminations without actually being in the Royal Rumble match. Because he had a couple, even though it's bizarre that I can only seem to find one. Oh, two. I found two.
I think there only was about 2, but I was just saying it'd be quite funny if they did that, where they eliminated like 13 people by like pulling the rope down or pulling them over the rope stuff, and it had like the most eliminations having never actually been in the Rumble.
He saved AJ plenty of times.
I know, and it was awesome. Like, and
I loved that AJ got eliminated though.
Yeah,
I think it was Sheamus that had him up.
Braun.
Braun, went to throw him out. Cena almost was standing there, so just went and threw him out the other side.
Yeah, it was clever.
Entry number 26 was Rey Mysterio.
Are you sure it was Rey Mysterio and not some bird called Victoria again?
Yes, because Rey Mysterio appeared in this match for all of 4 minutes to sell some beer.
To be fair, I bought the beer.
Did you actually?
I would buy the beer.
Ah.
That's what I meant.
Buy it.
I might try and have a look now, just
They
because.
said it was a Mexican beer. Do you think it's Corona trying to rebrand?
Yeah, maybe.
No, it's not Morello or something like that. It's called.
Modelo?
Aye, that's a big brandy beer in America.
Aye, because at one point they were basically sponsoring Lucha Underground for the 4th season.
Aye.
Number 27 was the Sheamus.
It's a shameless thing. It's a shameless head.
Who again didn't really do anything. Entry number 28, Cesaro, didn't do much. Entry number 29, however, was the big return after having his baby, Seth Rollins.
I thought.
Oh wait.
The thing is, I thought it was Bailey coming out.
Yeah, so did I. I'm like, that's what I says when that hit. I was like, it's Bailey!
What have I been saying in this podcast for ages? Too many wrestlers have that fucking
Aye.
shake before the music
I
starts.
thought Bailey was coming out to get Michael Cole.
That would have been hilarious.
That would have been great, actually.
And then Bailey could have been like the second woman ever to enter both women's and men's Royal Rumble matches in one night.
Be hilarious though if she did come out, go for Michael Cole, right? And then she just ran with. Technically, I was never eliminated for the men's Royal Rumble. Technically, she never actually went into it because she just went attack Cole, and her and Cole kind of disappeared. And
Yeah.
she'd be like, "I'm due a Universal or WWE Championship shot at WrestleMania. I was never eliminated." Just getting around with that for a while.
She
And
just
the
works with
Saki Bailey way, that'd have been great.
Bailey Mania running wild.
But Rollins comes out, actually does a really good show for himself, and ends up in the final four, as does entry number 30, which was Braun Strowman. So from this, it kind of comes down to, I believe it was Christian, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, and Edge. Obviously, when Christian came in, we didn't even talk about this part, was when the two of them just stared at each other with like the biggest fucking hug in the history of people reuniting, and everybody's collective hearts melted.
See, the thing that I was totally fucking scared of during this is that Christian would turn on Edge, and I was like, I want this to be nice. I want it to be special. If Christian turns on Edge down the line, fine, no problem. But this, I wanted it to just be
right,
nice.
now.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm glad it was nice.
It certainly was. Even they broke out some new kind of tag team moves with Christian sort of doing that kind of roll into like a wheelbarrow into a splash. I don't remember who it was on, but maybe AJ, I'm not sure.
What I would love to happen is Edge wins whichever title he goes for at WrestleMania, probably the Universal, whichever he goes for, and the first challenger is like, I want it to be you. It's him and Christian. And they then have a nice match that's not a pure. There's no fucking skullduggery going on or anything. Then Edge probably wins to regain, and they have a wee hug in the ring and a handshake, and then Christian sails off to the sunset if that's what he wants to do. That'd be fucking lovely.
I thought you were going to say Christian attacks him and turns heel.
I hope not. I want them to have a match together as it being what it is. Two best friends. They'll be best friends their entire life. Shaking hands and going for it. That's what I want to see. I don't need. This doesn't need a wrestling storyline. It already has it. Do you know what I mean?
Now that they're no longer brothers. Now that they're no longer brothers.
What was that, Robert? Sorry.
The story writes itself.
Yeah, totally. It doesn't need to be a heel and a face. It just needs to be two people that love and respect each other, just going for it. That's all it needs. And at the end of it, they still love and respect each other. And if Christian is staying on after that, fine. He can go over to Raw or whatever and continue on. But I'd like to see them just have that one proper, respectful match with each other.
A little bit like how Rich Swann and Tommy Dreamer are doing right now in Impact.
They're definitely not quite the same, but I get what you mean.
What are you talking about? They're the exact same. So yeah, we're down to the final four, and Strowman and Strowman
No,
gets...
that's a lie.
Shush. We're down to the final four. Braun Strowman gets
I
eliminated.
don't think anyone believed that was the final four.
I didn't.
Exactly.
I knew straight away as that Orton's coming out once it gets to like somebody thinks of one.
Yeah.
Aye.
Strowman gets dumped out, then Seth Rollins and Christian both kind of get... Christian and Braun Strowman get dumped out at the same time. Then Rollins gets dumped out by Edge. Edge thinks he's won. His theme music doesn't hit, obviously. And then that's when slimy, wormy, squirmy Randy Orton comes back out, hits the RKO, and then goes to toss Orton over the top rope. Edge does the nice little hip swivel, bang. Randy Orton is out over the top rope, down to the floor. And Edge wins the Royal Rumble from the number 1 spot.
And I won 50 quid.
And I'm hanging up.
Once
Yeah.
Orton hit the RKO, I had it in my mind that the Fiend was coming back.
Yeah, I thought something was maybe going to happen after that.
I think we said that before the Rumble started. I was like, I think it's going to go down to Edge and Orton. But I think the Fiend's going to be responsible for Orton losing.
Yeah.
The Fiend or Alexa.
And we've still not had the Fiend back. Obviously, Alexa cost Orton in the match on Raw, which actually quite annoys me.
Why?
Because it robs Edge of a clean win.
Aye, because Edge was going on about how much he needs to vanquish Orton and all that, and then it happens that Edge gets that win, which, to be fair, technically was clean.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa didn't do anything; she just appeared. But I would have liked for Edge to have won that straight up, and then maybe had Orton beat him down after it, and then Alexa appears. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Alexa, shut the fuck up! Sorry.
When you're talking about wrestling, why do you not unplug that thing?
Because I now have 2.
Ugh. Well,
I changed one of them to be the E word to
erection.
activate it, but I can't change the other one. The other one's it's a television Alexa I've got now. Oh, God.
Well, and with that, Edge wins the Rumble and is going on to go to WrestleMania to face someone for a World Championship, which is interesting because he came out on Raw, got in Drew's face and goes, "Yeah, you've got to realize I'm a pretty dangerous man right now. I can call my shot when I want to." And when you know, you'll know.
I loved that. I loved that. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, Robert, because I really don't watch much of the main roster, but did you see the opening segment to Raw? Drew came out and he was like, beat Goldberg, I look forward to WrestleMania. Then Edge comes out and Drew's like, Adam. He actually calls him Adam. And he's like, I'm so glad you're back.
Brother.
And he's like, so glad you're back. You've always been a mentor to me my entire career. I was in the building the night where you had to retire and I felt horrendous about it. And I'm so glad to see you back, brother. And Edge takes the mic off him and he's like, what's wrong with you? And like Drew's kind of like, what? He's like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the compliments and that, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, but what's wrong with you? I'm a legitimate threat to your championship right now, and you're out here telling me how great I am. Hit me, do something, be a champion. But it was quite a nice wee.
Yeah.
And then it's like fucking.
And then after Edge says the bit where
I think his words were, "Don't let me hit you first."
Yeah.
Like, do something. Like, and then he get hit by Sheamus.
Yeah, Sheamus lobster kicks him in the face, and now it looks like the next title program is going to be Sheamus and Drew for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Which I think will go. I think that will go all the way to Mania.
Yeah, even though I would have preferred Edge versus Drew at Mania than Edge versus Roman.
Well, like I said, I'm happy with either 3 scenarios. All three of them are to me. All 3 of them are dream matches.
Yeah, because they're all people that Edge hasn't faced before.
We're going to get the match that we were robbed of last year. We're going to get the Battle of the Spears. That never happened.
Except there happens to be somebody that does a spear that we actually like.
I just said it was a battle of the spears. I never said who.
No, I was going to say it's the Battle of the Spears of people we finally like. Roman Reigns, and then Edge is also there.
Who would have thought? Last year, I wouldn't have told you that I like Roman Reigns.
I was saying that throughout that entire Universal title match.
For me, I think if Roman Reigns was a heel, I would have liked him. My problem was he was too heely to be a babyface for far too long.
Yeah. And now,
see,
now it works.
see, even if you're talking about, this is 5 years ago or something like this happened. If you're talking about the Suffer and Succotage line and all that, that's such an arsey heely line. Like, he was always a heel. Like, they just didn't understand that he was a heel.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll always be a heel now. I don't think he'll ever turn babyface again. He might go tweeny occasionally, but I don't think he's ever going to go full on babyface again.
No,
Yeah.
I'm very happy with Roman now, and I want him to stay the way he is.
Oh yeah, he's the shit now. The shit, not the shits. And a quick update before we go. I made some squared sausage, potato scone, and eggs. And Kat didn't finish her squared sausage earlier, and now Taco is eating it on the windowsill. So that's fun.
Nice.
Good boy. And I guess that kind of covers the little old rumble that could, because this was an amazing show. Even though the fact that I lost a little bit of money during the show, I still actually enjoyed the thing all the way through. Though Rhea did win. And
I thought overall this was a really good rumble, and for me it was probably top 5. Not going as far to say as last year being the best ever, but it's definitely top 5 for me. I really enjoyed it.
yeah, last year's was on a different level.
Okay, actually maybe top 5 is a bit of an exaggeration, but it's not far off it.
No, I wouldn't actually. I would definitely say top 5.
What's your thoughts, Robert?
I wouldn't say top 5, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed both rumbles. There's some rumbles that just have that special place in me.
Okay. Such
Like-
as?
98. I really enjoy 98.
Okay.
2001
It's a good shout.
and 2005
Ah, yes.
with a double quad rap.
Yeah, the one where Scotty Hottie won. Yeah, that was a great rumble.
No, the Batista one.
The one that Scotty Hottie won, yeah.
No, it was, and also the reason I really like that one is because it was the first year I successfully predicted the winner.
Actually, Drew, I'd like to see WrestleMania this year. I was talking about part-timers and stuff like that, and I'm glad that there's not looking like there's going to be a great deal of them. Considering the Hall of Fame has been rolled over to this year from last year, I actually, even though he said he's retired, I would not be against one last Dave Batista match.
Yeah. Because that match with Triple H was all right, but at the same time, it was kind of a bit.
No,
What's
I'd like to see him against a younger guy and younger guy go over.
Yeah.
Fucking Damien Priest. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's a great shit. Well, you know what? We have plenty more weeks to book WrestleMania, so why don't we take a couple of why don't we take a week or two and we'll do the infamous old school turning heel thing of let's book our own WrestleMania and see how close we get. Normally we used to do it like 3 months out or so back in the day, but I forgot about it, so fuck you. So why don't we even maybe do it next week as a kind of opening segment or something, and we'll book. Well, I suppose it's going to be maybe 2 nights, so I don't know, like a two day 8 matches per day card, and then
That we can include all 3 brands, because I think the NXT is going to have more matches than just the one this year. Because they were having
Yeah.
the one last year, I think that was testing the water. But now the fact there is definitely no takeover this year, I think NXT will have a presence on Mania.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that would be a good show, and I think it's something you should do going forward as well.
If they're going to do Mania 2 nights going forward, then yes, definitely. The NXT should have a pretty heavy presence on it. I would not be opposed to that. My call is Edge versus Balor. Make it happen, Vince. / Trips.
Interesting. Well, again, we will definitely get back to that, but I think now is the time to Chris.
Wrap this shindig up.
There you go.
Ho!
See,
There's a sausage in Griz's taco.
that sounds delicious.
Is that your finish to this? No, you're later.
No, I changed it up for the Rumble.
That's
A sausage. He said taco was eating a sausage. It was filth. I had to.
Yeah, I already forgot about that. And that was only about 5 minutes ago.
All right, fair play.
Okay.
Remember, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Heel Podcast. And also, don't forget, you can hear our archives on the World Wide Web at heelpodcast.co.uk. Well, that's all, folks. So long. Have a good day.